everybody? How are we doing on this fine Thursday evening? My name is Eric and welcome to Q2C VR Gamer Live.
We've had so many people DMing us and leaving comments on our YouTube videos about how terrible Trombone Champ's gonna do and the company's gonna go bankrupt. To see it do so well on launch day was just like, you know what? That guy can kiss my ass.
You lose 85 pounds, you shave your beard, you put some glasses on, people are like, oh, it's not even, you don't even look like you anymore.
Yeah, what the fuck? Get fat and grow a beard, damn it.
Like, he's already biased because he didn't get what he wanted. He wanted Alien Isolation. If you want Alien Isolation, asshole, go play Alien Isolation. I very firmly believe that there's many games out there that are epically great flat games that are absolutely better in VR. Not every game. What is going on, everybody? How are we doing on this fine Thursday evening? My name is Eric, and welcome to Q2C VR Gamer Live. We are a weekly VR talk show that airs live every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, where we go live to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Kick. Nope, we Kick. Kick is gone. Kick sucks. We're out of Kick. Too many people over there, Todd. I can't handle all the notoriety that we get from Kick. But if you can catch us live, you can always catch us afterwards on your favorite podcast platform. But before we go any further, let me say hello to my partner from the great Canadian Northwest. He really wanted to come on a trip to Tijuana with me, but I took the Postal dude instead. He's so jealous of me, he can barely stand it. But I'm not going to talk about him anymore. We're going to wish his wife, Allie, a very happy birthday. Todd Jackson, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hi diddly ho diddly.
Happy birthday to your wife, Allison.
Yes, happy birthday, Allie.
How dare you spend your wife's birthday on this stupid show with me when you could be celebrating the amazing woman that puts up with your dead ass every day?
I'm turning your camera off.
I said, Todd, don't do the show tonight. I'm like, Todd, there's nothing going on. We don't really have anything happening. It's quiet in the VR world. Let's just take another week off. And he's like, I got nothing going on, man.
I got nothing to do today. What the hell?
Got nothing to do.
Those are lies, Allie.
Go, Todd, isn't it your wife's birthday? He's like, yeah. I've had her for how many birthdays now?
You want me to go to work tomorrow?
This one. Oh man. But yeah, happy birthday, Allison. If you're watching, does your wife watch our show or does she not care any?
Yeah, I'm just watching chat in case she pops in, but yep, she definitely watches.
Well, everybody in chat, please wish Todd's wife, Allison, a very happy birthday. Todd, it's good to be back, man.
Yeah, it's been a while, right? It's not like we haven't been busy or doing anything, but been busy.
No big deal. We got nothing going on. I have if anybody's asking really quick, I have a house guest, Todd, this week.
I know. Yes.
It's been a blast having him here, and he's hiding now, but he was right there just a second ago. Miles Dyer. Miles Dyer's here. We might have him come on and talk a little bit later. We're going to be a little bit full up here in the beginning because we got some guests tonight. They're going to stop in. We got some special guests that's going to be super killer, super fun to have in here. And I see a couple of them in chat right now, actually wishing your wife a happy birthday.
I see that, yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna have a kick-ass show tonight. It's gonna be a busy night. There is a lot going on. We're gonna talk about, of course, we're gonna talk about Flat2VR Studios. Of course, we're gonna talk about the epic VR showcase that we had the other day, and of course, we're gonna talk about Postal 2. And we're gonna have Team Beef. We're gonna have some parts of Team Beef here tonight to talk a little bit of stuff going on with Team Beef and Flat2VR Studios. Yeah. And then, Todd, we are going to have Vince Desi and MikeJ from Running with Scissors. Hell yeah. How great is that?
I'm looking forward to that. It'll be fun.
Hell yeah, it's gonna be a good night. It's gonna be a fun night, man. I'm super excited, and but let's just check in with you, man. What's going on in your world? Like, what do you got? What's happened? It's been like, when was the last time we did a show?
It's been like a month, I think, like 3 weeks for sure. Maybe
Yeah,
4 weeks. I don't know. My beard's getting scruffier. It's cold still. Like,
yeah, you got a snowstorm coming, eh?
yeah, tonight's supposed to hit in like an hour. Got like
Damn.
warnings popping up on my phone saying snow's coming.
You know where the
Shouldn't see
weather's
that here.
perfect is here in Florida. There's no snow. There's no snow. It's about I don't know, 78 degrees every day.
Throw me back in tornado season or
Tornadoes.
hurricane season.
I'm just gonna
Hurricane.
do what I did last year. I'm just gonna go to California. And stay in
Just
California
leave
for
your
the
wife
tornado.
and your kids back in Florida.
They're hiding in the closet. I'm like, hey, it's fine here in
Charlie,
California.
you're fine.
I'm telling you, man, I'm
Lay
dodging
down in the
raindrops.
bathtub, Charlie. You'll be fine.
I'm dodging raindrops all last year. I go to California and I'm working out there for like 4 months. And while I'm out there, freaking hurricanes left and right. Head back home. My wife dodges 3 hurricanes back at home. I come home to spend a weekend away from California to take a little break. The weekend that I'm here is a fucking earthquake in California, like minutes away from the epicenter is like minutes away from where we were staying. And Jasmine got rattled out of our B&B. And then I go back to go back to California. And then I pack everything up and leave just in time for the fires to hit. So I missed the fires.
Wow.
I missed the earthquake, and I missed the tornado. So, damn.
Yeah, I definitely got to follow you around on my travel itinerary.
Very. Life is good.
Come up here. Maybe the snow will stop.
I ain't never going to Canada, bro. It's too cold in Canada. Like it would like
it's
maybe I'll go to
70,000.
Canada. Like
You're coming to
you have snow in May, so like there's got to be maybe July is probably the only time you don't get snow ever.
July and August, it's rare.
It's
We get snow
rare.
12 months a year.
I mean, it's rare. It's rare if you get snow in July and August.
Yeah, it's
You
rare.
should say it's so rare that you should never live in a place where you can get snow in July or August.
It's a beautiful country.
That's inhabitable. Like people aren't meant to live in those conditions.
We got snowed off a golf course once.
That's insane. That's insane to me. We have some cool people in chat. It's kind of lighting up here with a lot of the Allison Jackson wishes for a happy birthday, and we're gonna get going here. I want to we're gonna have some guests.
Actually said thanks to everybody, so I just want to make sure everybody saw that.
Oh, super nice. I will shout out my wife too. Hopefully my wife gonna watch. She really doesn't like watching you at all. Sometimes she just doesn't.
She told me that the only reason she watches.
She doesn't tune into the show because she's like, I love when you're on. Todd's a little annoying. So sometimes Steph doesn't like to watch, but I'm like, come on.
I'm sending
Steph,
her a message right now.
You should tell her how that you're not annoying and that she should be really nice to you. But yeah, Steph, if you're watching, thank you for taking care of me this last 2 weeks. It's been insane, and coming up and make sure I eat and stuff.
2 years.
When I don't, she yells at me.
Right.
But I appreciate it. It's been a busy week, Todd. We so we'll talk some Flat2VR studios here in a little bit. But yeah, we'll just say we've been ramping up for this VR showcase for a couple of months, but everything that we do, some things happen quicker and faster, and Shadowgate coming on very close to the end, Surviving Mars wrapped up, and we were able to get that in the showcase, but not until right before, and like there was just a lot that had to be prepared and a lot to do leading up to that, and that's why we haven't really been able to do the show. So I know some people have been messaging me and saying what's going on with the show. There's not a lot of shows left anymore, like VR talk shows and podcasts. So so a lot of people have been asking, like, what are you guys doing with the show? Are you going to get too busy to do the show? And that's not our hope. Like, our hope is to continue to do this show as long as we can. Todd and I both really enjoy it. And so we're not canceling. We're going to be here. I don't know how regular we're going to be, but we'll be here as often as we can. Right. Like, so, I'd love to get to the point where we're doing it, most Thursdays again. I feel weird in the opening, Todd, when I'm like, you can catch us live every Thursday. That used to be the case, man.
Change that up a little bit.
That used to be the case, man. We were super consistent. Like, I think we went 100+ episodes straight without ever missing an episode, dude.
Yeah, like it was
without ever missing an episode. And then life gets busy, life hits, and then you can't. And holy shit, We haven't seen this man in a while.
I know. I'm so excited to see him.
But he pops in with a killer.
Jesus.
Holy shit, Scott. Scott Albright.
Now I'm even more bummed that I'm not going to GDC.
I know, the CEO of Combat Waffle Studios with a $99.99 super chat to see you at GDC. Hell yeah, dude. We will see you at GDC. Well, I've been trying to like get a minute to head down and see Scott. I was going to bring Miles and go down and see Scott, check out the new studio, but it's been an insanely busy week for both Miles, me, you, the whole team. So we haven't even been able to get out of here. Like Miles has been in Florida for a week, and he's seen sun maybe 2 days. He's still white and pasty. He's still a white and pasty Brit. So
wow.
We should burn. Well, I'm going to try and get him to the pool at least and burn him up good. So by the time we get to San Francisco, he's going to be crispy.
I just want to give a quick shout out to TikTok. We're not really live on TikTok that often, and it's kind of blowing up right now with a whole bunch of people on there. So just hello, TikTok.
Oh yeah, TikTok.
We're
welcome aboard. Welcome aboard.
And I'm super happy Scott's here. Yeah, I miss Scott.
I know, man. I do too.
I'm pissed off I'm not coming.
I messaged him the other day just to chat. I'm like, dude, I haven't talked to you in forever. He's been busy. I've been busy. And I just messaged him out of the blue and said, hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? I know he's got a new facility he's moving into down there.
I heard.
Just kicking ass, man. Combat Waffle Studios doing the right things. Always doing the right things.
It's good and bad, right? Like he was so excited to move into the existing facility. It was so cool. We got to go do a tour. It was awesome. Huge. I just can't imagine what this new place is going to look like.
Oh, it's going to be killer. I know the facility. I know it was on the news here actually. Which was great to see. It was great to see like local news covering VR studio. Super proud of Combat Waffle Studios and Scott and what they've been able to do. In a time where the gaming industry in general is not, hasn't been super positive about, direction and everything. And but it's good to see companies still doing good, still out there, still making, making big moves. And Scott is with 23,000 square feet, Todd. But yeah, Scott making moves with but not just Ghost of Tabor, but like, Grim, and Silent North coming soon. Super excited.
It's way too big.
It's way too big. Well, I'll move half of my studio in there. How's that?
There you go.
We could let's do a co-studio. We'll do half Flat2VR studio.
I'm not moving to Florida.
What? No, it's mandatory now. Everybody has to move to Florida. How could you not want to move to Florida?
No, I like this now. And my free healthcare.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's we got so at the bottom of the hour at 9:30 Eastern time. We're gonna have some of Team Beef come in and chat with us for a little bit. We've never had them on, Todd, so it's gonna be great. I don't know if they have ever been on a podcast before. It could be. I don't know. I have to ask them that when they come here, but they've definitely never been on our podcast. So we're super excited to have Team Beef in here. And then at 10, we're gonna have or right around there, we're gonna have MikeJ, Vince Desi from Running with Scissors come in here and talk a little Postal too. I'll just say real quick. These guys are legends. And I talked to Vince, quite a bit now, the CEO. He is a legend in the business. He's been around forever. Worked with Atari, worked with Activision. Like he's been doing this in the video game industry for a long, long time. And it's just super cool to talk to him. It's been cool to, hang out with him. I got a chance to go out, stay at his house for a few days when we did the filming for the Postal trailer.
Right.
And yeah, just super happy. All right, but let's get into this. Let's say a little more chat because we got a lot of people in here. Holy shit! We got Luna Knight Z is here. Says Papa Desi, be blessed. Oh, Papa Desi, Vince. There you go. Hijack Gaming Q Creator. What's up, Mike? How are you doing? Thank you for taking care of our timestamps. We appreciate you. Nick. All right, Nice Leverus is here. Nice Leverus. Todd Jackson is here. JP says, "Let's fucking go." Hell yeah, let's go. Fat Kid Productions. Let's see. Mickey Barrios. What's up, Mickey? How are you doing, man? Techno Glitch is here. Arlen Kundert. Radio Runt is here. Says, yo. What's up, Radio Runt? How you doing? Mr. Tass is here. And we have Mr. Tass had a 35-month membership.
That's crazy.
Todd got my 36-month ready to go. Sub all. Everybody sub, for sure. Yeah. You guys can do that. You can sub on here now. You know that? You know that, Todd?
Yeah, I did. That's pretty cool, actually. I didn't know the subscription.
Yeah, come on, get in here, guys. 35 months he's been a subscriber. That's pretty damn cool. Where else? Fourth Wall Breaker is here. Kubo92. Haruku is here. What's up, Haruku? How are you doing, man? Mepper is here, saying hello to absolutely everyone. Didn't expect a show today. I know. It's weird that you get to a Thursday and you don't expect a show anymore. That's a bad thing. We gotta fix
That's
that.
not a good thing. Yeah, exactly.
Big Spike 808 is here. Miles Dyer is here. And here. He's here. And he's here. Very strange. Big Spike 808 says the Postal shirt is fire. I think I don't even think this is a production one. I think this is a possible
like a one-off.
It might be a one-off. I went to their studio to do the filming, and Vince and Mike are just like, here, take a shirt, take this shirt. And I was wearing some shirts in some of the filming of it. But the problem is, Todd, everything's been so quiet. I haven't been able to wear anything. Like I had all these awesome kick-ass Postal shirts.
In the Postal Discord, people think that this has just happened like overnight. Like,
oh my God, no! We'll talk
an overnight scenario. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we will, because this is a cool night to get into it. We'll talk a little bit. Yeah. We'll probably talk a little bit with Beef, and then we'll talk, I guess, more, of course, with when Running with Scissors comes in. Is that fake Miles Technoglitch? There's a real Miles and a fake Miles. Is there a fake Miles? I don't know. There could be a fake Miles. I don't know. Let's see. Miles Dyer says he's the intern. He is the intern. Look at him. Haruku, I said. No, let's see. Fourth Wall Breaker. Yes.
Oh my God.
Wooving says happy birthday.
Yeah, lots of good wishes. That's good.
I said JP, right? JP is here.
Yeah.
Team Beef VR Ports is here. What's up, Beef? Can't wait to get you in here soon. Dominic is here. What's up, Dom? How are you doing? That's your son, I think, right?
Yep.
Nice. What's up, Dom? He likes to watch, Todd.
Yep.
Can't get my wife to watch, but let's see. I said Mickey Barrios. Running with Scissors is here, Todd. What's up? Allison Jackson, of course. Fluke Rogie is here. What's up, Fluke? How are you doing, man? It's good to see you. Late for you, Fluke. And jolly old. Late and jolly old. What else we got? I am Dickle.
Dunn is here.
Hey, what's up, Jay Dunn? Joy Rain, how are you doing? He said, wait a minute, it's my guys. What's good, fam? Good to see you live again. Yeah, hell yeah, man. We're so happy to be live again. Feels good. Hey, Flat2VR is here. What's up, Flat2VR? That would be Flat2VR modding community. Christian Hunter. Felix Flood.
Air Force One's here waiting for the Area 51 VR update.
Oh man, I'm waiting for that too. D1360 VR is here. Air Force One, a 12-month subscriber, Todd. 12 months on Air Force One.
He's been hounding us for 12 months for Area 51.
Too funny. Yeah, D1360 VR. There we go. Great work on the Postal VR announcement. Can't wait. Hell yeah, it was fun. Scott says bring on. He's got the room. Maybe we could do a co-location. That would be cool.
I see that, right? That's cool.
Chatty is here. Higher X Founders is here. Ooh, Higher X Founders. Nice. I like X Founders. I'm a founder myself. Cop Dog. I am Dickle, I think I said.
Elephant Trap.
Ninja Raccoon 88. What was that one?
Elephant Trap.
Elephant Trap. I like it. The Dank Cheese is here.
Nice.
That Dank Cheese.
And VRL Games or Viral Games. Why do I always say VRL?
What's up, Viral? How are you guys doing? Did you see that killer Exoshock? Can you grab that video, Todd, for Exoshock? I'd love to play that trailer tonight.
I will see what I can do.
We're going to play some trailers tonight, of course. Get ready for some trailers. The Great Dreamer is here. Wingsy is here. I am prepared to get as much info to add to the RWS Postal 2 VR wiki. Hell yeah, dude.
Awesome.
I love it. I popped into so everybody out there right now listening, there is a new Postal 2 VR Discord that Todd is actually the runner of, the Todderator, the moderator of the new Postal 2 VR Discord. And the day, the Discord went live, the day we made the announcement, and Todd, literally within minutes, there was hundreds of people flooded in there within minutes. And there at one point was about 20 or so, 25 people in one of the live chat rooms, just hanging out and talking so excitedly about Postal 2 and then the possibility of Postal 2 VR happening. I jumped in and just I was like, I just want to welcome you guys and say thank you for coming over here. And I put my camera on, and they freaked out. They're like, "Holy shit!" And I just talked to them for a while, man. They were super cool. This is a great community. And Wingsy was in there, and he was telling me how he was working on the wiki for
yeah.
Postal 2. Yeah.
Yep.
Beat the Besties is here, and that is my wife. She is here. Hey, Steph, how you doing? Viral is here. All right, we got to get through here. Christian Hunter with a $9.99 super chat. Just can't wait to regret nothing in VR. Lots of love. Hell yeah. I had to pick between my shirts tonight, Todd. I got so many Postal shirts, and one of them I do have. It says no regrets.
I just want to point out how you didn't send me one of these multiple shirts you have.
I know.
You've been prepared to wear one on the show tonight.
Well,
just throwing that out there.
It's too cold. It's too cold there for you to wear a t-shirt.
Yeah. By the time it got here on the donkey and sled dog, it probably would have been.
Ninja Raccoon 88 says Postal VR is crazy. Laugh out. Is it official? It is official. It's as official can get. With store pages, you can go wish list now. And that's the other thing I'll say too. Guys, do us a favor. This is super important. You have to go wish list games. Wish listing is so important. You have no idea. And it costs you nothing. It costs you nothing but going there and clicking the wish list button. But what it does, two things. It can spike an algorithm that will actually show the game to more people. Show that the game is available to more people. It also gives us an indication of what we think the game could possibly do. It tells other people that people are excited for the game. So if you're like, hey, I want to support, how do I help? How do I support? You support, you help by clicking the wish list. So go to Meta and wish list. Go to Steam and wish list. And I can tell you right now, we have tons of wish lists already. I'm not going to give you the numbers. We have tons of wish lists already on Steam for Postal VR2, and it's super exciting to see that. We love the community, we love the support, we love that people are excited for it. It's going to be freaking amazing. I really can't wait for everybody to see it, and it's going to be awesome. Oh, cool. We have one of the two that are coming tonight here from Team Beef. We don't have the other. So the other of Team Beef that's watching, that's ready, you can come in now, and we'll get you guys both on. It's time. Time for the beef, Todd.
Time for the beef. Show me the beef. Where's the beef? Wasn't that a commercial, or was that a Canadian?
It was a commercial. It was a Wendy's commercial. Where's the beef, dude?
Wendy's commercial.
That's Art hilarious. Behind Human says it's Scott from Viral. Hey, what's up, Scott? How you doing, man? Viral Games is going to be out there at GDC. They're going to be showing off a couple of games that they have, and especially Exoshock. And if you're not excited for Exoshock yet, you should be. You should be. It's going to be one of the better games that we'll see this year.
I found a trailer for it. It's might be low quality, but it's
okay. That's cool. The Dank Cheese says just wishlist Postal 2 now. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Awesome.
Seriously, wish listing, you have no idea how important it is to developers, and don't just wish list our games, right? Like, I mean, thank you so much for doing ours, but if you have any game that you're interested in, or if it's a studio that you are interested in, go wish list. It helps them out so much. You have no idea. Like, literally, you have no clue. And it's such a simple thing. And again, it doesn't cost you anything. You're not committed to buying it in any way. It just lets people know that you're interested, and it helps. Todd, we have another super chat tonight. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate those super chats. $10 super chat. Todd said, would love to waste my life away getting a second job for any RWS project. All my love for this game. Favorite hobby is annoying my husband with PP jokes. That's amazing. I love that. I love that. I would say probably one of the biggest questions that we have gotten so far, Todd, is, are you going to be able to piss in VR?
Yeah, I get it a lot in the Discord too. How is pissing on people going to work?
The better question is, when you look down when you're pissing, what are you going to see? That's the biggest question.
That's right. Is it going to?
Me and Miles have been talking. We're thinking of DLC, like DLC or in-app purchases of different types of
genitalia.
Yeah,
or just
what do you think? What do you think if we had a store full of
trombones from Trombone Champ? You could look down.
Trombone? That would be awesome. You look down, you see your tromboner. Oh, we're still getting pulled, man. We're still getting pulled. This is funny. It's an important question though. People need to know.
Yeah, all these
Thank
mechanics
you.
are different, right? So
Yeah. Thank you very much for the $10 super chat. We appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Do we have both guys here? Let's get both guys in here. Todd, do you want to bring them in or you want me to?
sure, they're here.
All right. We have from Team Beef for the first time ever on Q2C VR Gamer, we have Mark and Baggy from Team Beef. What's up, fellas? Grant, I love your shirt, dude. I absolutely love it. Is Grant frozen? I think he's frozen. He's just super stoic. Mark, what's up with Grant? Oh, is Mark muted?
You hear me?
Now
There,
we
yeah,
hear
we
you.
got you now. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Hey, Eric. Hey, Todd.
and I think Baggy's frozen.
He seems to be frozen. Or maybe
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he might be stage fright. Maybe he's just frightened. He's a little
Maybe
nervous.
he's just scared. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
But you know, if you're gonna get frozen, look at the epic pose he's in. He's got the kick-ass Team Beef shirt on with the Doom hat and the freaking Postal dude hanging out right next to him on his desk.
Hanging off
That
his
is epic.
Oh man.
Miles says
no, he's gone.
to Baggy, blink once if you're in trouble.
Oh no.
Oh man, too funny. Too funny.
He'll be
Mark,
back.
Mark, thanks for coming on, hanging out and chatting with us tonight, and welcome to the show for the first time, man.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting us. Now I'm here alone. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's okay. You
But I
planned
have
it this
my
way.
glasses.
Yeah, you planned it this way. Now you get the epic spotlight of being, you know, the voice of Team Beef for this segment on the show. And yeah, man, welcome to the show. And you know, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself real quick and like maybe what you do at Team Beef?
Yeah. So at Team Beef, I'm kind of the creative lead. You know, at Team Beef, it's a small team, 3 guys, me, Dr. Beef, and Baggy. We all saw for a second freezing. Oh, he's back again.
He's back.
And
I don't know what happened to as soon as I hit connect, my Starlink was like, no way you guys can talk about that. Like, we're not allowing that.
Well, thanks for coming, Grant. We're just talking to Mark a little bit. I just wanted him to introduce himself to the audience and and then tell a little bit about what he does with Team Beef. And Mark, you're from Germany and you're calling in late tonight. And yeah, so you do a lot of the creative, like you. So like for you, like when Team Beef decides to work on a game, it's you who kind of like deep dives into that game, even in the flat version of that game, to figure out how you want to change things or how you want to, how you're going to do the conversion for VR. So, like let's talk about like for Wrath, you have gone in and played it 6 ways from Sunday, right? On the flat version.
Yeah. So that's basically it, like going into it, knowing the game inside out. I mean, we're all playing the games, but that's my hat, my responsibility. Yeah.
It's cool, man. I love it. It's such a cool and integral part of the process because before you can get to day 1 of development, you have to have a plan. You have to have, you have to know the game that you're going to be converting. Then you have to work together on a path of how you want to do it. And and Grant, let's bring you up here a little bit. I was telling everybody while you were frozen that you have an epic kick-ass Team Beef shirt on that everybody's going to want right now. And then you're wearing the kick-ass Doom hat, and then you got the Postal guy like hanging out,
running the scissors in the background behind his head. Yeah,
oh yeah, hell yeah, love that. You got it kept out. I love it.
Just like you, Eric, like I've had all this cool stuff, and like I'm going to put them up in every meeting, and I'm like, no, I can't do that.
I have so much stuff to go on my wall in the background. Like I have so much shit that I want to put up there. Like I have it over here because I haven't been able to show it on camera. Like it's been killer. Like it's been so hard. Like I know it has been hard for you guys too. Like not being able to say anything. Like I couldn't even comment on like Mike and Vince's posts or anything like that because if like, oh my god, if I comment and they see that, they're gonna, they could put 2 and 2 together.
Running with scissors,
right? Or if all of a sudden we're Facebook friends or something, and I comment, or how I could never wear one of these shirts. I've had shirts that I want to wear, but shit, man, that beef shirt looks amazing.
Yeah, this was Gamescom, and we definitely need to print some of these up.
Yeah,
I guarantee everybody in chat right now is trying to figure out where to go get one. I guarantee
Baggy, you need to send me one of those. That's awesome.
It is.
I'll trade you for the Q2C one.
I love the Wrath one that Mark's got too. Wrath. I was wearing. I actually wore it all day today. I don't know if even anybody noticed. I wore the black Wrath shirt today. That has the. It's so hard to see the Wrath printing on that one.
Yeah.
But I like it because it's almost like it's stealth almost because it's like a dark black shirt. And then the writing is almost in a black or a really dark gray. So
Yeah,
you
we
can
actually
just barely make Wrath out.
Yeah, we actually got that inspiration from an old Oculus shirt that they gave away at, I don't know, Gamescom 2017 or something.
Yeah.
And we just thought like, oh man, that's great. Gray on black just works great. Maybe something for Postal t-shirt.
Oh my god, I have so many ideas for Postal VR shirts.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy. I need to take 2 weeks just to sit down and figure out all the shit I want to do with Postal 2 for shirts VR. Grant,
all
why
I
do you
want
do
is,
No,
I was gonna say, all I want is the headset sticker for Postal, like have the dude's face there on the headset.
Oh, that has to happen. That has to happen. I want that too. Grant, why don't you kind of introduce yourself to the audience, tell them, and then tell everybody a little bit about you and what you do with Team Beef.
Yeah, so Team Beef. A bit of everything. Like really, we are at heart like a modding team. I met Dr. Beef like 10 years ago, back in some like forums. We were actually met because we were trying to replace the screen on a Oculus DK1 with a higher res version. We're already trying to like mod it there. And I just met this like weird guy online. He's a weird, he won't watch this guy. I was just like, this guy's really clever, cool. And like, we had to like change the firmware. And then it just kind of went from there that like Simon Dr. Beef, like just gets really into like the technical level, brings things in. And it started like with Quake on the Gear VR. Then we sort of had a break. And then, I mean, we were doing sort of injection drivers back in the day, Stereo Perception. We did a load of stuff for that. But then when Quest came out, we were like, okay, this is our thing. This is our level, because you can fit a lot of older games onto that old headset. So we started off with like Lambda 1 VR, which is Half-Life 1 in VR. And yeah, I started off just sort of helping in the background. And then as things go on, I mean, I'm a programmer, so a developer. So, we've done a lot of projects there since. I think we're up to how many ports now, Bums? There's like 10, 11, 12. I'm not sure. All the Quakes 1 to 4, Doom 3, something like that. But yeah, so I just wear a lot of hats within Team Beef, doing a lot of development, also helping Bumser with design, obviously talking with you guys, getting things done.
That's awesome.
It keeps me busy.
Yeah,
sure.
I
mean, yeah, and you do. I mean, and so everybody knows, you guys are working on, with us, with us at Flat2VR Studios, for number one Wrath, and then now everybody's known that one for a while. Wrath Aeon of Ruin VR, by 3D Realms, and then now everybody knows Postal 2 VR. So super excited. Like, so you guys have been in the same boat with me. Like, we just haven't been able to say anything for a long time, and this has probably been the most agonizing because me and Grant talk all the time, and we're like, it's going to leak anytime. We've been doing this for how many months now, and like it's going to leak anytime, right? Like we just were like, oh man, you're checking every day if you're going to see a leak somewhere.
It was like sleepless nights too, especially leading up to the end, right, to the showcase. It was like, if it's gonna leak, it's gonna leak now. And now I can't sleep because I need to make sure that if it does leak, we got to stop it or catch it or.
And we had to do a little bit of subterfuge, because like another story we can tell if you want is how kind of Postal 2 happened, but like it wasn't a secret in the community that like we'd been introduced to running with scissors. And like we were just like, no, nothing happened. And then like people were like, like running with scissors ghosted them, and we were like, okay, we can leave it like that, we don't have to correct them. And then like when people were like, so what happened, we were just like, it could just never happen, that type of thing, which felt a bit weird. But yeah, we're so happy this week to finally be able to share it with people.
Yeah, it is. And Mark and Baggy, let's talk a little bit about what I think people would be interested in how the story, how these things happen, right? Like, how these things come about. And you guys did have contact with Running with Scissors before we got together, so you were already talking, but it just never kind of like came to any fruition. And that was one of the issues, right? With Team Beef, with any modder trying to talk to the actual IP holder of how do we do a business thing here where we do something, and just talk a little bit about that first in that process early on before we came on.
Yeah, absolutely. And so on our like Discord, ever since we started like doing more and more ports, we have like a game suggestions channel, which lots of people. Postal 2 came up all the time, and we're like, our rule was because we do like, or we did before, sort of open source community, free released mods all the time. We were like, that just doesn't exist. We can do anything. But our like fans and Running with Scissors fans were just like wanted it so much that they actually, some of people actually got in contact with like MikeJ and the team over there, and they were like, this is Team Beef, you should talk to them, put us in contact. And the one thing I'll say about Running with Scissors right from the start is those guys are like so open to talk to like modders and things like that. I don't think any of this would have happened if we didn't have those initial discussions. They were like, we definitely want this, how does it get done? And then they're like, we talk about the technicals, and it was a game we always wanted to do, but absolutely at that time, it just didn't fit where we were, because we were like, well, we're a mod team. How do we release something for free? How does that benefit you guys? How is this something that's good for both? And it kind of died away. Like, let's know, have a think about it. And I think we all went away pretty disappointed that that could have happened. Then a few months later, we got the partnership with Flat2VR, and sort of Wrath started to happen. And I think this is really the testament to what Flat2VR can bring to the VR space, which is exactly connecting up IP holders and teams, like passionate communities that want these things to happen, and able to do that. I mean, as I said, like Mike and Vince were great and really like that, but I wouldn't blame us if they didn't trust us, like a small team, to pull off such a big task. But when like we had the partnership with you guys, I think we were at Gamescom together, Eric, and I was like, did I ever tell you about this? Like this would happen. Like just got in the room and we were like, suddenly let's like get in contact with Mike. And yeah, it sort of all went from there, but there was a lot of steps, and like we're really thankful for our community for doing that first initial like reaching out. Whether it would have happened without that, maybe, but maybe not. So like that was always great. But it's, to me, really a testament of like how a really passionate community can really get behind a project and actually propelled it to the point it does become a reality. And secondly is like how this partnership between like Team Beef and Flat2VR is just perfect for this type of project, this type of game, and like what you guys can help us with, like allowing us like the sort of runway to get into these things.
Yeah, it was super. The way this came about was kind of crazy. It was quick. It was fast. It was Gamescom. We had, we were there. We had our booth there. You were there. That's the first time we had met in person, and we were just sitting there in the meeting room. And you're like, oh, did I ever tell you that I had met, or we had talked to Mike and Vince about possibly doing something, and it just never materialized. And I'm like, no, you didn't tell me that. I'm like, message him right now. So literally, like at the meeting table in the booth, you messaged them, and then we had like a little email thing going back and forth with them, literally right in the booth. Like they got back to you almost right away, and then literally we scheduled a voice call for like an hour later in the meeting room, and all of us just got on a quick voice call, and we were pretty much agreed in least in terms at that point that we were going to do Postal 2, and they were like, we're on board if we can make this happen. They're like, let's look into the details a little bit more, but if you guys can do what you say you can do, we're on board to do this. So that's how quickly that happened. Like within a couple of hours, we at least had a path to where we could do that. Now it takes months and months and months of things happening afterwards, but that initial like, yeah, we should do this together happened pretty fast. Yeah, it was crazy.
It was really crazy.
The conversation literally was like an hour, and then 6 months of secrecy.
Yeah, and that's what it was like too. Is like every day, like, when do we announce this, or like when should we announce this? Should we announce it immediately? And then we're like, no. And then finally we were like, okay, let's hold on to it till right before GDC, which is next week. And then Jamie, then I've been talking to Jamie Feltham about the showcase, and I'm like, this is perfect. This is the perfect announcement for the showcase. And then we were able to put up that kick-ass trailer. And guys, I think maybe, Todd, is it time? Should we run that trailer?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's not even a trailer. Oh, yeah. It's like a mini story. It's like a mini story.
It's like a little mini movie. Yeah, exactly.
It makes me all warm and fuzzy.
Let's check it out.
Yeah.
How violent is too violent when it comes to video games?
Controversial computer game.
The original game was banned in more than 10 countries.
You know what it means to go postal?
Postal.
Postal.
Postal?
Very controversial video game.
Man, this shit is boring.
We wanted to make a game that was no nonsense, run around, shoot, and have fun.
Now this is more like it.
To introduce Quest 3.
A first-person adventure, but along the way, anything is possible.
This game would be great in VR. I should start a petition. Father, if I kill people in VR, do I go to hell? When you're done sleeping, sign here. You look like someone with strong opinions. Now that gives me an idea. I'm only asking for a signature. What could go wrong? Fuck. Care to sign? Looks like I'm gonna have to spice things up to get some signatures. I'll, come back later. Damn, still short. Guess I gotta call in some backup.
Eric Masher, COO, Flat2VR Studios.
Eric, remember that bar in Tijuana? You owe me. Grab a pen and shovel. We've got work to do.
Nice. Mike, Vince, sign my petition?
Yeah, what's the petition for?
Postal 2 in VR.
Oh my God, we've been waiting forever for this shit. Let's go, let's go!
Excellent, man.
Signed, let's go.
We're doing this.
I love the trailer, man. It's such a kick-ass trailer. I so good. I'll say Carl Wonderbar does a lot of our trailers at Flat2VR Studios, and Grant Mark, he killed it with that trailer. Like, and that trailer took forever to get figured out, like forever.
Yeah.
The thing is about the trailer, there's only one petition that I think is more important than what was in there, which is, when does Eric get his Oscar for that performance in there?
Oh my God, they've already got memes. They already got like gifs of me with the eyebrow raise, like doing that, and I'm like, oh shit.
You know, there is a Postal movie, like, but you could just play the role like perfectly, right? Even better, just a perfect fit in the best
new
way.
Postal movie starring Eric Masher. I saw a bunch of people in Discord also saying that you should do the next Punisher movie.
Oh yeah, okay, I'm down. I'll do it.
Same jacket, you can wear it twice.
I have that jacket still, so I have the Postal jacket. I brought my wife got me it. She had to order me a trench coat. You can't get a freaking trench coat here in Florida, by the way. You can't they're not selling trench coats, and it's 90 degrees here. They're not selling trench coats. Sure. So she had to order me one, and then I brought it with me to Arizona where the studio is, and they decked me out in all the I had the Postal shirt. I didn't wear it in that shot though, but I have Postal shirts I'm wearing in an earlier one that has the alien head on it, like you have there, Grant, which is cool. But then I put all the pins on it that he has. So yeah, it was super cool. It was a lot of fun, and Mike and Vince were a blast. We shot so much stuff that day, and that was, I mean, doing that, it was, I mean, I grew up playing this game, so that was a pretty cool moment.
And especially because, not to go in too much into how the sausage gets made, but that bit with the phone call, like that was originally like just a blank thing, and like was added very like relatively late into the process, and like it was just like a 5-minute thing, and like me and Carl saw at the time Wonderbar, and we were like, we don't know, and Carl was like, oh, this is like that. As soon as I saw it, like it was so perfect. I've probably seen the trailer in triple digits now, and sometimes now when I'm watching that, I just forward it to that bit. Like it never fails if I've had a bad day to just make me smile or laugh.
It's too funny. It was literally, and that's exactly how it happened too. You know, Carl Wonderbar and Grant and I were in a meeting talking about the trailer, and we kept getting hung up on that spot where it goes to black screen, where the Postal dude. Which, shout out to Rick, who does the voice for the Postal dude. He did the original voice, and he worked with Running with Scissors forever, and he was really super kind enough to record a whole bunch of new stuff for us. But at that point, he calls in, and then we're like, what do we do here? We have this black screen where, and I did the audio, so you heard me, but it was just black screen. So you heard my voice pick up the phone, and you heard me answer and say everything I said. But it was just black screen, and we're like, it's so long of a black screen that we need something here. And we thought about a couple of different ways to shoot it. And we're just sitting in the meeting, and I'm like, look, guys, give me 5 minutes. I'm like, I'll just record a whole bunch on my desk here. And I went 5 minutes. I gave him, I had like probably 10 or 15 shots. And I sent them both to Baggy and Wonderbar. And literally by, I don't know, the next day it was done. It was finalized. And this was like 3 or 4 days before the showcase.
Yeah. Nothing like leaving it down to crunch time.
That look, that eye work, that look you have is just so perfect. Like,
especially because you were recording it like without the audio, right? So like it just had to match up.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But there's one good question that Big Spike asked in the chat. I see it. What happened? What happened in the bar?
Oh, what happened in Tijuana?
What happened in the bar? Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Big Mike.
Do we have a backstory for that? A lore? Do we have a lore?
We were gonna, at one point we were talking about. Carl had an idea. He's like, is there any way we could get a picture of like Eric with his arm around the Postal dude wearing like a sombrero? The guy was sitting in the bar with the Postal dude. This is the ideas that we're trying to come up with. I mean, stupid stuff, trying to figure stuff out, making these trailers, and I don't know, it was just a lot of fun. We wanted to make sure that the trailer that we did kind of like reflected what the game is going to be about, right? Which is going to be about fun and carnage and the whole Postal universe that Mike and Vince have put together is all about doing cool, funny, wacky stuff and like not taking yourself too seriously, and that's what we wanted for the trailer, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So guys, just if you Mark and Grant, if you want to talk a little bit about like, we can't say a whole bunch about what Postal is going to be yet. We're still in process of doing.
Is there any leaky type of information? Like I know Big Spike has been all over me on Discord. I think Baggy.
Everybody wants to know if you're going to be able to
my comments because I've been teasing more information's coming. Stay tuned. I didn't say when, but it's coming. It's got to be something we can tell them.
What I would say is, like we've seen all the chat on the new Discord and things like that. Like everyone wants to know how you're gonna pee in VR and stuff like that. The things that like I would say is both from our experience before, this is the commercial answer, both from our experience before, like especially in VR, you think in some ways it's actually freeing, where it's the opposite. You have so little to work with the controllers. Actually, it is one of those things where the restrictions actually breed creativity. And if anyone's ever played any of our previous ports, I'll take Jedi Knight for an example. Like, absolutely, we're in a similar position where we had tons of guns, things like this. Like, there's weapon wheels going on. We had force powers, which were gestured to your hand, where you can fly people away. You can pick them up and strangle them and control them in the air. So, like, anything you guys are thinking about, like, in terms of, like, this needs to be a physical action, that's absolutely going to be there. absolutely no way do we make a Postal game where something is a button press, because that would suck.
That's what everyone wants to hear, right? Is you won't be pushing a button to take a leak. That won't happen.
Exactly. Exactly. And peeing will be exactly as you expected. You will go into the toilet, put down the toilet seat, sit down, and pee like you were taught to. Right. That's what you want, huh? No?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think that's what they want. No, I don't think that's what they
No?
want.
This could be the biggest thing. This could be the biggest thing ever. Like, this could be like the new thing where, everybody's going to the bathroom in VR.
The other thing that's really fun for us, and like you're alluding to like some of the things that it is like, the thing that's great is what we see people like commenting on, like, this would be good for peeing, this would be good for something, like what we've been cooking for the last 6 months or something is actually so much crazier than anyone is actually suggesting online. Like, we really can't wait to share that kind of side with people of that, or even if they don't see in the trailer, like being surprised in the game of, wow, that's how that works. And there's so much in Postal. I mean, the peeing is great, but there's also just so much about it on top of that. Like, even like simple things, right? You walk around with matches all the time. So like just having a matchbox where you pull out a match, you strike it, you're throwing it. All of those sorts of actions are just going to feel like so built for
It really is the perfect game for VR. Oh, there goes Baggy.
Starlink said,
again.
Nope,
He's out.
We're done.
It really is kind of like, Margaret, it really is kind of like the perfect game for VR, right? There's so many the interactions and the way that you can play Postal. And that's why I think so many people have been asking RWS for so long to make it. I mean, because I've talked to Mike and I've talked to Vince, and like people have been asking for Postal 2 VR forever. You know what I mean? And the reason they ask is because you can see where that would work, and like, where it would be, a really good way to do it. So, Grant, your Starlink went down again.
They really want to censor me. Typical Postal.
That's what it is. It's probably the censors. Like, oh, you can't talk about Postal online.
Yeah, he's talking about peeing too much. Cut him off. Before we get too carried away, I do want to shout out a super chat that popped in. Arlen Cunder.
Oh, nice.
Chat. If Team Beat Flat2VR know a guy at Blizzard, I'm still wish casting the idea of the abandoned, unfinished third-person stealth game StarCraft Ghost to get finished as a first-person stealth VR game. So that's cool. And maybe.
What do you think? Can we do that, guys?
With Flat2VR, we can do anything.
There's the answer.
But
we do have a really cool partnership. I'm really loving this, and we couldn't do this without you guys. And we're super happy, and we're going to be doing lots of cool things together for a long, long time. And we'll just want to hit Wrath real quick. Wrath is going to be another great game, and let's not forget about that and how good that's going to be. A stellar boomer shooter, one of the best from 3D Realms.
Yeah, that's a ton of fun as well. Completely different game, shares some things and stuff like that. We got some really cool stuff to show on that pretty soon.
Yeah, just so that people don't think we've forgotten about that. It's not being replaced with Postal 2. Wrath is still coming.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
There's a ton of great stuff also coming from the Flat2VR side, from art teams and things like that. Really, all of the stuff that we wouldn't do on like a free open source thing, like we have the ability to do now. It's going to mean everything is more polished, feels just perfect for VR. And that is Wrath is getting that treatment. Postal's definitely getting that treatment.
Yeah. Well, Todd, do we have anybody else in the wings waiting?
We do.
Who do we got? MikeJ? How's it going, man?
Mike.
What up? What up? What up? What up? How you guys
Mike,
doing?
I'm running with scissors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm here. I was told I was not going to be here with Grant and Mark because they're supposed to be working. So if they don't leave, I'm out. I'm out.
Sorry, MikeJ.
Do you understand how many questions I'm already getting about every little thing about this game? And I'm like, whoa. Whoa.
Slow down.
We just announced it.
I saw your comments on launch on the trailer day. They're like, come on, like it's been announced for like 15 minutes, guys. Give us a fucking break.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that might be the difference between saying, you know, coming soon or, you know, it's happening, right? Like,
yeah.
So I don't know. You know, I'm glad people are happy. I'm glad they have comments and questions, but you know, yelling at me all these random questions before they're like, even like, this is awesome. They're like, what about Paradise Lost? What about Apocalypse Weekend?
Yeah.
Is it free? Like, no, it's not fucking free.
I love the free one.
Everything is free.
I love the free one. Yeah, that
you
was
basically
great.
got a free game with your Postal 2 for like under $1. And yeah, we're just gonna throw you a super expensive VR version of the game with it too. Yeah, no problem.
Team Beef needs to eat. They need to eat. We gotta make some money for Team Beef
to pay.
Yeah.
Well, Baggy, Mark, you heard the man. You better get your asses back to work.
It is 3 a.m. here, and to be honest, I'm scared of Mike, so I'm gonna have to duck out.
Who isn't?
There we are. Who isn't?
We appreciate you guys coming out. Thank you for being here so late. We know it's super late where you guys are, so appreciate you, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, guys.
Very cool. Yeah, Mike, it was. Thank you for coming in, man. Thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate you.
Of course.
We Grant and I were, and Mark and I were talking about kind of the whole like genesis of how this came to be. We were just talking about like a little bit like you know, Gamescom, and you know that they had, you know, talked to you at one point, and you know just couldn't figure out like how to make everything work, you know, officially. And you know, basically just a phone call, right? Just a phone call, and you get a good feeling for people, and that's how those things happen sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's as people know, and we talked about this at length. You know, we are pretty big VR fans ourselves. We had worked on a VR title back in the day. It never saw the light of day, and you know, the concept of Postal 2 VR has always been thrown around, and we even had like, you know, some in-house stuff we were tinkering with, but for us, you know, it's not what we do, and it's just a big undertaking, and it requires actual professionals. So
people who know what they're doing.
yeah. VR development's very, very complicated. I'm sure people who tinker in just gaming in VR actually like see the issue, right? Like not everybody has VR legs. I don't have VR legs, so like actual development is another level of VR legs. So.
It is, and you know, and that's, you know, a lot of places where we can come in as a studio and kind of help out, because that's what we specialize in, you know. And you guys specialize in making kick-ass, you know, console PC games, and then we can come in and be the other half of that, you know, partnering up with Team Beef to do that. Todd, Mike, I think we got somebody else here finally. Is that Vince Desi? What's up, Vince? How you doing, man?
I just woke up out of a coma. I had my alarm set for 7 o'clock. And then I see the text. You said, well, you guys come on at 7. I said, all right. I said, but all good. It's fucking, it's brutal outside. The winds are heavy. It's pouring rain. What the hell can I tell you, man?
It's a good time for you to come on a podcast then and just hang out.
That's right. Listen,
talk some Postal.
Postal 2 VR, the world will never be the same. It's that simple.
It's like, Vince, just want to say thank you for coming on. I know you haven't been feeling well, and you're recovering from a bad cold, and but thank you for both for coming on tonight. And yeah, I mean the announcement went super well, and then it has kind of gone viral. Like you guys put a Twitter post up. It has. I don't know what did it end up having, Mike. It had so many views on it of the trailer.
Couple 100,000 views.
100,000, man, it's crazy. I don't even know. I'll tell you guys later. You know, we got our wish list, you know, notification from Steam the other day, or this morning. I mean, and yeah, I'll tell you guys later. But it's been really, really good. The excitement, you know, people, you know, wanting to support, you know, going out and wish listing, it's been incredibly crazy already. You guys have probably one of the coolest communities of fans.
Yeah, we really are blessed. And I most of my day, early morning, around the clock, is spent communicating with fans. And I got to tell you, it's one of those things where, what's that stupid word they use? It's like it's natural. We have a relationship that you can't buy. And I was talking with somebody yesterday, and they're in another studio, and they want to come out with a game, and they were asking, "Oh, well, how do we, how'd you build your community? How do we do that?" Like, and I'm like, "Well, first of all, you're not you gotta. I don't know. It's a personality thing. It's 28 years in the making. You know what I'm saying? This is, I've done thousands of interviews on every medium you could imagine." Around the world. So over time, but I really do believe that the key is every day. Well, now it's mostly social media, some email, sometimes phone. I did a Cameo thing earlier tonight, and you got to respond. It's, and then of course we initiate. Over the years, we initiate, which is different than a lot of people do, but it's not hard, but it's just, you got to also, it's kind of like, you can't stop a river from flowing. You know what I'm saying? You just can't stop a river from flowing. It's you just, when you need a drink, you're thirsty. That's what I got over here, whenever I mean,
Desi needs some milk.
That's it, man.
I got milk.
That's what I mean. I mean, this is it, So, but all kidding aside, it's the greatest gift is giving, and we give to our fans, and our fans give love back. In the past 24 hours, I knew there would be some people saying, "Well, I don't have a VR," or "I'm gonna, maybe I'll," you always get the typical thing based on age. "I can't afford it now. When I can, blah blah blah." I'm amazed at how many people, and on this is different mediums, from LinkedIn to to X, whatever, and people saying, "Fuck it, I'm now going to get VR." I don't have. I am going to get VR.
Yeah, and we've got it too. Like literally, like almost right away. People were like, I've been thinking about getting a VR headset. I didn't want to do it, but now I like Postal 2 VR is coming. I'm getting a headset, and this will be a headset seller. It will.
Yeah, I don't know. There used to be a term for that when you move hardware, when a product, I forgot, but it's one of those things where I wasn't feeling well today, or we were talking, and I'm saying, this might sound a little person. I got a friggin' prostate problem, right? I'm a little older.
I have a prostate problem, so it isn't even. It's clearly a running with scissors thing.
That's what it is. It's got to be a running with scissors thing.
I'm the one in this chat that had surgery for it. So
damn.
I got no surgery. I just got I go see the lady down at Lucky Ho massage parlor, and I get my surgery.
Oh man.
By the way, Jay, today I went and amazing. I mean, a new spot I found. I mean, I wasn't even ready for it. I was still got down for the complete legit experience. Like the Postal dude, you just never know what's going to come around the corner.
You never know.
You never know. Hell yeah! All right, so can we get something in the Grant? If you're still watching, we got to do something with prostate.
Something with the prostate in the game.
In the Postal 2 VR game.
We'll update the STD he gets to just having prostate issues, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Felix wants to know if Pedro has a prostate issue also.
Pedro's a little young to have prostate issues.
25 years old. I hope to God, my God, a prostate problem.
The Great Dreamer says Desi gets the happy ending.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. In real life, Jay's got his own prostate issue. I have mine. But I was thinking, and I kid you, this was happening today. I was phasing in and out. And I was like, well, you know what? Because let me tell you guys are younger. You're all younger than me. When you got to get up in the middle of the night and take a leak, or 2 times, when you go 5 times, some nights I've had 5 times
My God.
This is why would I want to make Postal 2 in VR? There, that's my answer.
There
That's
it is.
why.
When now you can get up and you can get up in VR and pee in Postal 2 in VR.
Yeah, actually, I just posted about it on Reddit, and one of the first responses was, "I'm actually a huge fan of Postal 2, but why?" They're like, "But why?" I was like, "I don't think you're actually a true fan if you're asking why."
Right.
He's like, "No, I love Postal 2, blah blah blah, but the graphics are old. There's no real reason to be up in people's faces. I just don't get it." And I was like, "Well, maybe you need to answer your own question then, because clearly we're not the only ones that want this." I mean, I see the messages over the years, and there's a reason why. And one of the main videos that's kind of been brought back in our TikTok, and people are commenting on it and saying it aged like milk. Something like last April, I made a video, and it's got something like 80,000 views now, where I was like, Postal 2 VR is not happening. Like, we're not making it. And I didn't say it can't happen. I just said we're not going to make it unless there's an easy button for this. It's not happening. And I'm not saying that it's easy for Grant and the guys, but having a VR developer and a publisher is kind of an easy button for us, right? So I'm like, it didn't age like milk, guys. Like last April, this was literally not fucking happening.
Right.
Last August, this wasn't fucking happening. Okay. This is happening now, and we're announcing it now. So, be happy it's happening. Don't go back in the past, because there's a million things we've said aren't going to happen. Who fucking knows? Maybe they'll happen,
Yeah. Well, that's it. Like, you didn't have the path. Like, you have. I mean, if you're not a VR studio, and you guys are not, you're focusing on what you focus on, which is the Postal universe, and figuring out what your next steps are for RWS. You have to have a whole division that just works on VR to know.
And
otherwise,
it's not
you
even
make a shitty VR game, and you don't want to do that.
Right. And it's not even just having a VR division, right? Like, there's a grand scope here for VR, right? It's not like you're making it for Steam VR. Like, that would be a waste of time, right? You have to make it for as much as possible. And that's not even something we can consider. Okay. So it's not just like, did we want it or did we not want it? It's like, of course we want it. We want Postal 2 everywhere. We want to be like the joke, that is, what is it, Oblivion? Like, we want to just keep coming out with Postal 2 in perpetuity for the next century. Okay. I don't care where it comes out. Like, are we milking it? Sure. We fucking sell the game for $1. Are we? I mean, really, like, I wouldn't consider that milking it too hard. But it's our bread and butter. It's our biggest game, and it's the game that stood the test of time versus like a lot of other big games that came out in that same year. And I don't know, it's all pretty cool.
One thing that I've also, within the past 24 hours, it's been such a reflective period, because it's constant now. I mean, it's literally constant. Whereas, prior to the announcement, I deal with social media, I deal with all the different mediums, but it's okay. But now it's like 6 a.m. and then it's 7:15 a.m. and I'm not even getting off of X, and I'm like, I gotta get up and shower. Like this is fantastic. And the thing is, this is one of the wonderful things about the internet in general. In the course of a day, I can't even tell you how many the people and how many countries, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
It's not like we're just, the Postal has really, it's had a very interesting history. We could discuss it another time. Yes, it's domestic, and yes, it's in Canada and Europe, but even the Middle East and Africa and Russia and Japan and Korea and China. So, in the course of a day, it's like, whoa. And that's just a great experience, and one of the things when people say, I've been doing this about 40 something years, and people ask like, oh, like, what are the key ingredients to making a hit? I'm like, what the fuck? If I had the key ingredients to making a hit, you know what I mean? This is the entertainment industry. How can you predict what people will like? But the best case is to invigorate people, to do something that creates a feeling. You see, because like music is the international kiss You know, it doesn't matter where you are, what language. Music is this you know, all you need is love kind of thing. Well, the right game. How is it that somebody could be in the Ukraine or Georgia or Moscow or you know, Beijing, all the way to Mexico City, you know, keep going around, and they're all enjoying the same experience? That's wild. You know, one of the ones I love is every now and well, we used to get it more with snail mail, but people will write and say, "Oh man, you know, I don't know how to tell you this, but I've been playing Postal for a while, and I hacked it, you know, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But you know what? I just bought it because I started playing again. And
wow,
now I'm older and I have a job, and they buy it. They literally have bought it 10 years after they stole it."
Our third partner, actually, our director of development, didn't purchase Postal 2 to start. He pirated Postal 2 to start.
Oh my god!
I mean, like, if I had to guess, like, everybody on our team pirated Postal 2 to start. I mean, they all come from the community, and like, we're not sitting here telling you to pirate games. I mean, but we do say out loud, like, you know, there are times in life when shit's hard and you got to do what you got to do. But if you like something, support it later on. Support it when you can. You know, I mean,
that's the amazing.
You can't fight something that doesn't exist, right? Like, it's fighting an ideology, right? Like, but you can embrace that community and show them that it took a lot of money and it took a lot of effort. And yeah, I mean, Vince says we don't get a lot of snail mail anymore. We don't, but we do get some, and
that's
some
crazy.
of it is fucking wacko.
It's crazy that you still get snail mail at all. Like, literally, it's insane.
We got a piece of mail the other day, and it was like in an envelope with it had our address. It didn't say running with scissors, and it didn't have a return address, and it didn't have a return anywhere. The back had our address on it too. And I had a friend at the office, and I was like, "This is going to be fucking anthrax."
I know. And I wouldn't even know if I would even open it.
Right. And I open it like, "Oh, here we go." And it was the letter from, like, I don't know how old the kid is, but the handwriting looks very young, and it wasn't in the verbiage wasn't particularly solid. But, you know, it was talking about how much they love our shit and how long they've been playing it. It's like, you know, the kid took the time to write it, and we get a few of these a week. I mean, it's not like we get one a year. You know, we get walk-ins at our office, even though our studio is not really like it's not really a development studio. You know, we're a remote dev studio online, and we have our office where we do shipping and stuff, and it's our address is public. It's not like we're hiding, and people stop in every once in a while, just looking to see the team or get a studio walkthrough, and I'm like, here you go.
Here's where all the magic happens.
This is where the magic happens.
Wall, here's the other wall. There's all the shipping stuff. That's where Vince jerks off, and this is where I jerk off.
It is a cool office, so I gotta admit, like, I did get a chance to come out and hang out with you guys, spend the day shooting those cool scenes. We showed the trailer a little while ago, you know, and you know, we had a lot of fun shooting those. It was super cool, and yeah, I mean, you know, the office is cool. It's great. Like, Vince has his desk, is, you know, like his big Vince Desi desk with the nameplate and everything, which is super cool. And Mike's got his workstation, his battle station, where he does all the stuff. And yeah, I mean, you guys have a really cool setup the way you have it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we had to increase size. You know, the last 12 years before, we've only been in 2 different offices, but they were pretty small. You know, just enough for me to do the shipping and somewhere for us to go. But the last couple of years, our merchandise shipping has, like, really skyrocketed. I mean, you know, I've been doing it for 23 years. I've been shipping our shit since I started at the end of 2001, and you know, there's been a long period of time in our history where it's like, you know, I'm shipping stuff, but it's not a lot, and it goes up and it goes down, and like the last 5 years have just been like this amazing increase in people buying our shit, especially dolls and stickers and
That's
shirts
cool.
and metal signs and keychain. I mean, it's all swag, and it's I call it crap. It's not crap. It's good stuff. But
You got
like, we ship
cool stuff.
a lot of crap, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty humbling, and especially when I see it out in the wild. You know, we don't live in Manhattan or in LA, but
do you guys ever consider going to, like, PAX or anything like that? Because I know a lot of games go into booths and just load it up with swag and sell them to the masses.
What's funny is we've been to PAX twice now. We went to PAX East like the moment before COVID hit.
Oh yeah.
So we were at PAX East. We had a booth showcasing Postal 4, and like historically, I used to go to a lot of trade shows back when Postal 2 came out, and I'd have booths at like CPL and things, and I'd always bring merch, but back then it was really hard to sell merch at shows, right? Like there wasn't a lot of mobile payment systems. Like it was just hard to get rid of stuff. And I would always I'd bring a box of shit, and then, Sunday at 4 p.m. shows up, and I'm like, I don't want to take this home. So I would be like, $1, get anything, I'd be like, but we go to PAX, and I didn't know. I just brought a box of stuff, and we were out of it in like an hour.
Yeah.
and little do I know that PAX, especially PAX versus other ones, people are there to buy shit.
That's like the main focus for a lot of people, is just to go there and collect the swag. Yeah.
Yeah. And we haven't done it. I mean, we went back to PAX a couple of years ago just because we did a couple of panels, but we haven't expoed at PAX in a while. But I'd like to do that probably next year when we have, because, selling stuff is cool. And I like doing that. I mean, I'm not setting up a booth to sell swag. Like I will do that to pay for the booth. Right. Yeah. Right. I will do that to pay for the booth. But I'm having the booth to showcase things that we have. And while we currently have Postal 4 and we have Brain Damage, and now we have Postal 2 VR, there's a lot in the pipe that's happening with Postal right now. And so like sometime later next year, I hope we can have booths at things like a PAX, and we can showcase a lot of different things, as well as selling tons and tons of merch. Because it is very expensive to expo at these things.
Oh yeah.
And being able to pay for it with merch sales is awesome.
That's a great way to offset it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I don't think people realize like how small Running with Scissors is, right? Like we really are tiny. We are nothing but self-funded. We're just a bunch of idiots that like this shit, and we continue to make it through thick and thin. But traveling and expoing, that shit's really expensive, and it's fun, and we've done it for years, but you have to have a reason to do it, right? Like a lot of companies like burn cash doing expos, and we're not going to burn cash we want to do it for a reason. And the reason is to showcase new products, and next year we'll have a lot of products to showcase.
But the challenge coming up for next PAX is, when you're at these events, it's always cool to see all the cosplayers. You see people dressed as the Postal Dude. It's phenomenal. That's fantastic. And, whatever merch we bring, we wear, we display. But I'm trying to figure out how we bring a toilet and show the bidet.
We tried. When we set up the PAX booth a couple years ago, the thing we wanted to do was to have, because the main image from Postal 4 is like the iconic image of the dude on the toilet, which is from The Big Lebowski, and we wanted to have like a mobile toilet in front of that people could take pictures with the bathrobe on, and I'm not saying it isn't possible. It's definitely possible. But like, when you're dealing with like setting up booths and you're working with like whoever it is, Reed Pop or whatever, like I was like, can we get a toilet like that's on a roller so we can just like roll it out? And they were like, what the fuck are you asking, dude? So like last minute, it was kind of like, well, I guess we could like run to Home Depot, but toilets don't stand up on their own, right? Like they stand up because they're bolted to the fucking floor. So like you have to plan this in advance, and you have to buy one. You have it bolted to a 2x or like a massive piece of wood, and then you have to have this massive piece of wood brought out to a booth. And I'm not saying it's not impossible. It's definitely possible, but there's
logistics that people just don't think about.
There's logistics, and there's money. Toilet logistics costs money, and the cost to bring a toilet out onto a show floor may or may not click. So we want to do it. We definitely want to do it, and we want to showcase the bidets. MikeJsBidets.com, in case you were wondering and you're in need of a new bidet.
I got one right here somewhere.
Yeah, see,
I don't know where it is, but I got one somewhere.
I gave the man a bidet, but we'd love to. I'd love to have the toilet. We wanted to do that. That was 2019. That was at the end of February 2019. Like we're at this show, and we're like, should we be touching people? People are like hugging us, and we're like, what?
That was the last of the really crazy big PAX.
It was, and actually, we didn't know if the show was going to happen or not. Like 2 weeks before, a couple of big publishers pulled out of the show, and we're like just releasing this game, and we're spending a lot of money on development. We're spending a shitload of money to get to Boston and Expo at this thing, and we're like, is anybody gonna fucking be here? And I asked the PAX people, I was like, is this worth our time? Because they were like, if you want to pull out, you can pull out, we won't charge you. And I was like, no, we want to be there, but like, will people be there? And they're like, people will fucking be here. Yeah. and they were right. Like, it was packed. It was a great show, and we had a really good time despite the the insanity that ensued.
All the conventions are kind of ramping back up to pre-COVID.
Yeah, and we like, I think next year.
Most.
Yeah, next year, depending on timing, I'd like to be at PAX East and I'd like to be at PAX West. Like that would be ideal for me. So yeah, I like doing that stuff. I mean, I'm not sure I love the idea of sitting at a booth for 10 hours, 4 days in a row, but like it is fun.
I hear you there.
We need to bring back the Postal babes.
Yeah, somebody was in chat. Yeah. Somebody in chat was asking. Did we have a super chat about that, Todd?
Oh, I don't know. Did I miss it?
I saw a super chat. Yeah, there was the Great Dreamer with a $2 super chat says, "Will you bring back Postal babes for the game?"
Well, I would first. I'd simply love to bring them back for any live events. Because that's first. Well, see, a lot of what from the original Postal in terms of locations and levels and things that occur. As a kid, I set everything on fire in Brooklyn. Okay. So a lot, there's a lot of reality in Postal.
What's more of a Vince life story than it is a fictional character?
Yeah, I'm not 6'2" or whatever it is, but that's more for Eric, which is great. Now we have Eric as to be our Eric is now our Postal dude.
I'll do it every day.
I'll do it every day.
He's also our publisher, and he can tell us to shut the fuck up. So, but don't. Actually, I mean, it's not like we're super active with it. I mean, the Postal babes that I do now are sort of like more organic, right? Historically, the Postal babes were kind of forced. We wanted them in our newsletter, and we had a website for it. Now it's more organic because we have a lot bigger reach, and social media has brought the female fans closer to us. I post Postal female fans on an Instagram called Postal Babes. So it does exist. It's kind of low key. We're not like going nuts with it, but all the recent Postal Babes are not just like random girls I hired from Craigslist. They are like actually Postal fan. That was definitely a thing. Like we used to get Craigslist would have like the modeling section where we'd be like looking for models, and we'd hire women to be Postal babes for the website. And I mean, hilarious. At the end of the day, a lot of them were like friends of mine, like just girls I knew. But now all the ones I posted recently are actual fans, which I think brings a little more authenticity to it, right? Like,
yeah, we started a cosplay chat in the Discord server, and there's tons of people that have been posting cosplay pictures of their version of cosplay.
Women. There's a bunch of women that have cosplayed as the Postal, which is great. It's great.
I love the female fans of Postal 2 it's not something you would think of normally, but there are tons of them.
Yeah.
Like I said, I went into the Discord the other day when we opened it up, and literally when we hit the go live button on the Discord, hundreds of people flooded in there. And I went into a live chat just to chat with some of the people and welcome them in. There was probably 5 or 6 of them were women. And I'm like, wow, that's really super cool to see.
Yeah. And I think they've always been there. I think years ago they did more like anonymously, like they weren't very outward about it. And they are now. And that's great. I mean, the community is very diverse, and they all are, for the most part, super welcoming of each other. And it's good. It is very good.
One thing, if I could mention, and this has gone back quite some time, there's a running theme from the communications from the fans that I get. It's about, thank you. I've been feeling down. I have a hard time with my parents. I had a drug problem. I dropped out of college. And we are we're definitely not professional psychologists. But what I always tell people is, I'm a little older. My life has been filled, just like the Postal dudes, up and down. Okay. We got, the lows are lowered and the highs are high. And when it first started happening, I was like, oh, this is crazy. And you kind of go with it. And then you see it repeats itself, and it repeats itself. And it's, I would say, several a week. I couldn't even give you the percentage, but it doesn't matter. people thank us because it got them through a hard time. And you know, a long time ago, I was in the green room at Fox News in New York. I happened to be in New York at the time visiting my kids and all, and I got the phone call. We'd like to interview Fox News, blah blah blah. And I was like, great. And they said, well, where are you? Because sometimes, you know, they do it whatever studio, whatever city you're located in. I said, I'm in there. I said, wow. They said, we'll send the car, bring it to the studio. I said, fantastic. Whatever. It was like, say the next day. First of all, it was so cool. I brought my kids. I mean, you know, getting in the limo, going to the news. Excuse me. I told you I'm sick like a fucking dog. So anyway, I get there. I'm in the green room. And, you know, this is all new to me. This is like, holy shit. I've never participated at this level in terms of the media and the press. So they had another guest on who was going to go on before me. And I had no idea what the overall segment was or anything. And we're talking, and this guy's telling me he's a psychologist or psychiatrist. And he's agreeing with me. You know, my whole thing about, look, it's just better to give people an opportunity to play games. You know, what is a game? A game is an instrument that you play. Why do you play? You play for fun. You know, I mean, it's just a pretty straight line there. So we're talking, and I was like, wow, that's fantastic. Like, you know, you're the fucking professional dude, and you're telling me that what we're doing makes sense and it's working. And then he goes on and he says, I can't say that when I'm on. I said, what do you mean? I said, like, you're going on before me. He was the shrink for the kid, David Chapman, who shot John Lennon.
Oh, no way.
And
no way.
And well, then the story gets a little, you know, more postalized. So then, you know, I'm there with my kids. They're in the green room. They're eating fucking, you know, whatever, the soda and shit. And my kids at that time, they could be a little loud. You know, they always were very good in public or people's homes. But this was crazy stuff. Anyway, I said to the guy, you're a fucking piece of shit. And I stood up. He runs out of the room. Security comes in.
Oh my God.
And they're like, what's, and I said, no, I said, it's cool. I said, I don't know. I said, this guy, what is he? And he was the guest before me. But it made me realize that what we hit on was something that, yeah, it's fantastic and it's fun. I like racing games, things like that. But, you know, when you reflect real life, you touch people. And the fact that we've been able, and it sounds like we've been able to help so many people, that's an amazing thing. And it's fantastic. And I really do believe, Jay and I talked about this years ago, long before VR became popular like it is now. You know, the fantasy was, could you imagine just having an opportunity to be doing this in a game? Like to really take on the, you know, because, you know, we used to have an old saying, violence belongs in games, not on the streets. Okay. And not only for the clear moral reason and health reason, but that's how life is. You know, so it's just such a, and I'm telling you, you're going to see guys and your team, whoever's on the receiving end of communication, you're going to see when Postal 2 VR comes out, you are going to see people. There will be an opportunity, an avenue for self-help, if that makes sense. Because you see, when a gamer and their machine, that's the world. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's pure honest at that point. Nobody's judging you. I mean, look at the power of the internet. You know, the whole remember when people were getting crazy and the anonymous power, because you know people say and do things online that they never would say in person. But in Postal, we give you the chance to play it out. And I think, you know, that goes kind of back to how'd you build your community? Real life. I mean, you know, that's something you can't make up. You know what I mean? It's like, no matter how much you want to be Harry Potter, you ain't fucking Harry Potter. Okay? It ain't, that's the bottom line. It's not happening, you know? no matter how much you want to, well, I should get not impossible. You want to play a lead character in Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed or whatever. It ain't happening, Whereas in Postal, there's so many little things. We used to, at one point, the media was on our case. This is a long time ago in JLT with the Got Milk shirt like you have on. They were like, we don't get it. They made this game and the mission is to get milk. And then the journalist, or whatever you want to call him, would write this whole thing about how stupid it was to have a video game about getting milk. Well, what's stupid, motherfucker, is you're a jerk off and you have no fucking clue about real life. Okay? Because, I don't know. That's, it's just, we're not trying to do anything other than, who was it? Remember a long time ago, Jay, somebody had said something about, it was kind of like Seinfeld,
Yeah,
Postal.
it's a game about nothing.
Postal
right.
was like Seinfeld.
Yeah, people ask me all the time, what is your game about? And I'm like, it's actually a game about nothing.
That's a great comparison, actually.
Well, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons why the Postal Dude doesn't really have a name, right? Because it's everybody.
purpose.
You are the Postal Dude. Like, you can be the Postal Dude, right? Like, it's everybody's wants.
That's everybody, and women included. And when I first did it, I don't remember back then the names, but games had names. It's just the way it was. And I was like, we're not naming the dude. We're not. This is the Postal Dude. Period. And of course, it felt right. It sounded right. I had no idea how right that decision would turn out to be. But
no, definitely the right decision for sure.
Yeah. It really is. And like I was talking earlier to Grant and Mark about the game itself and how it's played and how it's going to lend itself to VR really, really well. And one of the things that we, as a studio, we were like, okay, we're doing this. We're super excited to be doing this. But we're ready for it. Like, we're ready for whatever, because you never know with Postal 2, and you guys have gone through this over the years. Like, you were there when it originally came out, the first Postal, you've been through all the things. We haven't. And then we assumed, or we're ready for, we knew we were going to get a ton of good, but we knew with good could come controversy and bad, and we were ready for it. But we were all fucking in for it. Like, we didn't care. Like, we were like, we are going to own this. We're doing this. We love this game. We want it. We want to express it in VR, and we were ready. But I got to tell you, we have looked. There is almost no sentiment of like people being pissed off or people being upset or people being like, "How dare you bring Postal to VR?" Like, so I think a lot of that like controversy maybe that happened in earlier where people just were so outraged by it has gone away to the point where it's more just that we're bringing back this cool nostalgia. Feeling.
I mean, mostly.
Yeah. Well, you're going to get people. Yeah, we have a couple. Like, there's a couple.
Yeah, but we had meetings about.
There's a couple countries, okay, but that's besides the point, right?
That's true. But we had meetings about how are we going to handle this influx of bad press. Like, people are going to shit on us because we're doing this, and it never happened.
Well, I will say that I'm glad you guys had these meetings, and then someone didn't chirp in Eric's ear and was like, "We shouldn't fucking do this."
That never came up.
Yeah, because that's what we've always been. We've been an indie studio forever, right? I mean, Postal 1 had a big publisher that basically ran for the fucking hills when the shit hit the fan. Postal 2 had the tiniest, shittiest fucking kid-touching publisher ever, and they ran for the fucking hills, and they went out of business. We've been doing this on our own for a really, really, really long time. And we've always said, like, Postal 2 has stood the test of time. If there was just somebody with some fucking balls and maybe like a little bit more money and could actually have some clout, that this could go to the fucking moon. And yeah, like, making more money is super cool. Like, I prefer to have a very popular game that a lot of people play and a lot of people like. And yeah, the money would be nice. But like, I've been doing this long enough that like, if I was in it for the money, I would have been out a long fucking time ago.
Exactly.
Okay. Like, my brother makes great money. He does not have a fun job. Okay. Me and Vince don't have jobs. Okay. This is our fucking life, right? Like, our life just is fun. And as stupid as it looks, like, this is our shit. Like, I don't ship the merchandise for our store because I don't want to pay a kid to do it. I ship the merchandise for our store because I like doing it, and our fans enjoy that I'm the one doing it. So like I keep doing it. I mean, I tell people that they're like, "What do you do day to day?" I'm like, "Well, I go in the office and do the orders." They're like, "What?
I can
You do
testify.
the orders?" Yeah, they're like,
I can
"You do the
testify.
orders?" And I'm like, "I've done the orders every fucking day since January of 2002. Okay, like that's just something I do. Like I'm the shipping guy.
Cool.
Okay, I might be one of the partners and one of the owners of the company and the mad cow in the game, but I do the orders. Like that's just, we wear a lot of hats, but we also like we open the mail. You know, we do our own bitch work for the most part, and that's okay. Like we like it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, I saw it. Like I literally, we were there recording. Mike's like, "Oh, I got to go pack some stuff, man. I got to go, got some orders." So, you know, you got to do it, and it's great. And you know, you have a great community, and I can see it. Like I can feel it. Like them knowing that you're the one to put their order together and send it to them would mean a lot to them. Like, you know, coming from you, and it's super cool. I love seeing everything you did there. Let me ask you a question about you know, the process of you guys, you know, the post. Let's talk about the Postal universe. So for you guys, it's not like Postal 2 is the hugest part of it, but it's the overall universe. And you guys do still have a ton of stuff going on. Like you have this new documentary that was made that's gonna premiere, you know, this month. And Vince, you've talked about some things you have in the works, and like tell us a little bit about like the Postal universe and kind of what's going on inside that with Running with Scissors.
Well, March 29th in Phoenix, Arizona, will be the premiere of the documentary, which is, Going Postal, The Legacy. And I got to tell you, it's not because it's really a high quality production. I'm glad to say they did a great job. They're an independent group themselves. And then last night, one of the guys, his name is Jason, cool kid. And he's telling us we're up against Oliver Stone. And I'm like, what the fuck you mean Oliver Stone? Turns out that same evening at the same Harkins Theater, Oliver Stone's having the 40th anniversary of Platoon.
No way.
He will be there and the cast. Now, we don't know. Now, my first thought was, fuck, I've met a ton of so-called celebrities. I'm usually not, it don't matter to me. But I was like, Tiger Blood. Charlie Sheen. I was like, that was my first thought. Now so it's like we'll be in one, whatever, we'll be in theater 4 and they're in theater 5. I don't know. But it's literally at the same time. So the Postal universe, and that's one new big thing, right? So you've got like Mike's been talking about all about this merch, and its merch started out with T-shirts. And then metal signs that we personally shoot. And now we got the documentary coming out, which is really, when you watch it, it's pretty mind-blowing because the history, like one of you were just pointing out before, the industry itself has changed. The audience has changed. So what was crazy or outrageous or, Postal was the first game that had, suicide. It was the first game that, let you off, pedestrians that weren't armed. It was the first game that let you set people on fire. All these, it had a series of all these first. Well, today, the emphasis I really do believe is more on the entertainment than on the controversy. And that's fantastic because it was never our intention from the very beginning I'm going to make a game that's going to get a lot of attention and controversy. I had no experience in that. It made no sense to me. I just was like, this is fucking cool. This is a game I want to play. I like to run around and shoot people. It was that simple. So the documentary really covers from the beginning of how we started the company in the first Postal up to the present. And I know you were in touch with those guys, and it's kind of like, I don't know, at some point down the road, maybe they'll have an additional version, director's cut, and maybe we could get VR in there some way. Because I know they were psyched about it. They're good guys and they get it. But yeah, so the Postal universe. I mean, you could go to the bathroom and sit on a Running with Scissors bidet. You could go. Now, and then remember, there was the Postal movie by Uwe Boll. That was like 2008 or 2010. 2009.
That's crazy.
Maybe 2008. I don't know. It was a long
and
time
at
ago.
that time, there had only been maybe 10 games that were made into movies. Okay. So thousands and thousands. Now, I mean, I don't even know how many games, but
There's tons now, yeah.
So again, we've always been this, riding on the sideline of the industry. We're always not on the edge. We're not even allowed to be on the edge. We're like we're over the edge, but they like us. One of the I tend to just have the way my brain thinks, it just flies. When the industry had the lawsuit up against California and it went before the Supreme Court, that case, which was what was it, the IGDA or something, the lobby group that represents the video game industry, they actually used Postal 2 and submitted Postal 2 as it served like the flagship of the industry, but it was the title that was used to represent the First Amendment in the video game industry. I was ecstatic. I was tremendously proud of that. Super patriot, all of that good stuff. But it's like when you're looking at the Postal universe, the universe is real because it's not just a game. Oh, and now it's the sequel comes out, and now it's going to be on Xbox, or it's out on a new Nintendo system called Switch. Postal has integrated society in so many ways. And I would just want to add, we were talking about merch. I always think about this. 2 of the justices played the game, and there's actually an interview. It was on PBS years ago. One was Kagan, and I don't remember the other justice was, maybe it was Kennedy. So it was the one guy, one woman. They played the game. They loved it. They were laughing. This is an interview they did like on PBS, and they're laughing about it. What we did was we packaged up like a swag kit, 9 kits, sent them to the justices
awesome.
in DC. And at that time, we were selling Postal Babe panties. Okay. So we included in, what was her name, Jay? The other woman was from the state of Arizona. She's like the first woman on the Supreme Court. I remember, she's gone. But so out of the 9 packages, 2 of them also had panties.
Oh my God.
So that's, I don't know, Postal universe. I mean, I could just go on and on. We'll do this if you like. I'll gladly come back for another podcast. And I mean, there's a lot.
That's crazy how much in depth and how far back it goes.
Yeah.
We had another $2 super chat I don't want to miss. From Waleed, says, hype for this guy's chainsaw with PSVR2 haptics.
Of course. How could we not? The chainsaw. How about the piss haptics in the controller?
Yeah, there's got to be piss haptics too.
Oh yeah, we got to do something like that. There's going to be like the beef and our team, on the creative working, figuring out what Postal 2 VR is eventually going to be. Is like things are flying, ideas and things are flying back and forth like crazy right now. We're in a cool part of the development where anything still goes right now, and this process leading up to the launch is going to be it's going to be super exciting, and we're super happy to bring it to every platform. Bringing Postal to VR to PlayStation VR2 was a must for us. We had to make sure that we go there with it to support that community, and then bring it to Meta, and then make sure we bring it to Steam. So we were super happy to be able to announce it to all platforms, which is important to us. And we are getting a lot of the questions now, and we'll answer when we can. Everybody out there, and Mike and Vince are getting questions too. About what about Paradise? What about brain damage? What about we'll get there. We'll get there. All the announcements, we promise. We'll get to like letting you guys know what the plans are total with everything as we get closer. And you guys are going to be coming and hanging out with us at GDC. So anybody who's going to be out there at GDC, and if you're media or if you're press and you want to talk to us or Mike or Vince, we will be out there for a few days, kind of talking to the industry and telling them about Postal 2 VR.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Look, I'm really looking forward. It's just, again, nothing is, when Jay said before, this is our job or we don't have jobs. It's such an honor. And also it's a hell of a lot of fun to wake up and talk to people about what you're doing. And that's your job. So I think it just gets back to that whole natural evolution. Just be who you are. You know what I'm saying? Be who you are. And look, I've always said, every generation, kids are smarter than the previous generation. When you're everybody, when you're a teenager, you think you're getting over on your parents, right? That old classic thing. Well, no, it's all bullshit. Okay. all it really ever comes down to is you'd like to have some sincerity in your life, some honesty. And yeah, that's what we do. I mean, it's like, I couldn't even pretend to be who I am. You know what I'm saying? Or Mike. When I first hired Mike, no one liked him at the company. And I knew he was perfect. That was the thing. I was like, because you gotta just, I don't know. When you feel something, that's the old story, trust your gut.
Yeah.
I really believe that. And then like what Eric said before about you guys were passionate about it. And you said, we're going to embrace this. We're not going to, kind of like mince words or skirt around. No, this is who we are. We're embracing it. We're holding up the fucking postal shield and we're going to take the arrows and the spears. But the beautiful thing this time around, I'm so happy for all of us, is the fans are I used to call it the postal army. They're the ones throwing the spears at anybody in the system. We are up against the system. We've always been somewhat of I'm not anti-establishment, although people tend to put me in that category. But the postal army, it's the greatest. I mean, it's the greatest. I mean,
we're seeing them here now.
Group.
We're seeing them here now in chat, like posting and sending super chats. And there's a couple things I want to read out here. Somebody said, Luna Knight Z said, Meta standalone gonna get super censored, worse than RE4. That's not gonna happen. Just letting you guys know, it's not gonna happen. We are not gonna censor this game on Meta at all. I'm just letting you know that now. It's not what we're all about. Then we're not gonna do that. $5 super chat from the Great Dreamer. Will Postal Babes be all organic, or will you guys make another promo?
I don't know what that means.
Me neither.
I mean, does it mean will I go on Craigslist and find new models?
Maybe. I'll do it. I'll do it for you. I'll interview all the models for you if you need me to.
I volunteer as
I'll take
tribute.
one for the team. You know what I'm saying? I'll do all the dirty work too.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just want better quality photos than we had in the past. We were our Postal Babes was pretty low fucking rent. Okay,
right.
And but there's something to be said for Girl Next Door and cell phone style camera photos, but like
yeah, too funny. All right, we got another round of $5 super chat from the Great Dreamer. I just want to send support. Hell yeah, thank you. We appreciate you. Yeah, it's been super cool. You guys do have like one of the coolest communities. Like I know that people are like, oh, the postal community, they must be all assholes because it's the game. And I'm sure you guys do get some in there that are assholes, but I would say probably 90% of them are all cool people, man, that are just super excited about the game. And
as an asshole myself, there's plenty of assholes out there. Okay, but when assholes are around assholes, you tend to all just sort of gel and vibe. And yeah, I mean, look, there's the occasional dickhead that we have to remove from certain spots because we want everybody to have a good time and shit talking, chirping. I'm a hockey player, man. Like chirping's part of life. So like we like chirping. We like barking at each other, fucking throwing insults back and forth. But it's a little different than actually going after certain people for things they like.
We're all old school New York boys, so we got to do that shit. Like that's our thing, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Somebody else back here, the Christian Hunter was talking about Rick a little bit, and the voice, voice of Postal Dude, and yeah, Rick Hunter, always the voice of the traditional games, Postal Dude, and he was super nice enough to do some lines for us for the trailer, and he will be doing lines for us for the VR version too, right?
Yeah, I'm not even like addressing this mostly because people are like, why does he sound different? And it's like, well, for starters, it's fucking 30 years ago.
Yeah, he's 30 years
okay,
older.
number one. Number two, and you guys will attest to this, he was fucking sick when I asked him to do the lines.
He was.
And I told him we were kind of in a hurry, so as soon as he got over it, if he could do it. So he did them like the next day. And with a guy like that, with a super raspy voice and trying to do a character that, I mean, yeah, he's done some stuff for us recently for some dolls and stuff, but like this isn't something he does every day. And while that is mostly his regular voice, it's not his regular attitude. And so for him to like pull that character out of his hat right after being sick, yeah, he's going to sound a little different. So it was
he's
him.
30 years older. Like, oh my God.
But he is 30 years older. But all the time, the cool thing about Rick is that while he is historically a local Tucson radio personality, and that's why we have him, he's actually like a national personality. Like he is the main voice actor for
lots of things.
It's not called Clear Channel anymore. It's called iHeartMedia. Like he's the main voice guy for iHeartMedia. So like you will hear him on car commercials and anything and everywhere, radio, TV. So we get people all the time, why didn't I just hear the Postal Dude on my radio? And it's like, because you fucking did hear the Postal Dude on your radio. Okay. So, and he's been like, look, we know there's a history of him, coming and going, but that's, these are human beings. Okay.
Yeah,
like
right.
Rick not being there for Postal 3, good for him. Cause it wasn't him not being there that made that game suck balls. Corey came in, did a great job. Yeah, exactly. Corey came in, did a great job, and now he's part of the Postal brand. And Postal 4, something else was going on. We got John St. John. He did a great job too. But Rick's back. I'm sure you've seen in Postal 4, you have the ability to be all 4 Postal Dude voices, so cool. even Zach from the movie. So. We gave that ability, and I wouldn't say that's going to happen here. Postal 2 is Rick, so
yeah. And we were super stoked that he was number one, that he's able to do the voice for the trailer, but number 2, being saying that he'd be willing to do more lines for the VR game, because we're gonna have some cool shit with the VR, VR.
Of course,
we want to change some.
And not just for the VR, for marketing for the VR too.
Right, so. Exactly. Yeah. So it was super cool. I will say, one of the coolest things, and I'll just play it all the time sometimes, is having the Postal Dude call me on the phone and like, Eric. And I was just like, having the Postal Dude do that, that's a freaking, I mean,
we need an animatic of the fun you two had in Tijuana. That's what we need.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Storyboards at minimum, but an animatic would be great.
I was talking to Grant and Mark earlier when they were on, and we was telling the story of like how that worked out with the trailer. That shot of me answering the phone, literally we shot that in about like we were 3 days before the trailer had to be turned in, and we had this black. You were there, Mike, in the meeting. You're like, you guys got to do something with the black screen. It's like because it was like a long pause where there was no screen, and all you heard was the Postal Dude, calling, and then you would hear me answer, but you wouldn't see me. I wasn't on screen. There was no video. Right. I didn't shoot any video. I recorded audio, and we're like, man, we just hate this black screen here. I shot that scene like we were in a late night meeting, and we're just trying to figure it out. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, guys, give me 5 minutes. I fired up my OBS and I just recorded like 10 spots real quick. I came back and I'm like, here's what I have. And like, then they popped it up and they had it up there like that. But man, it's such a cool part now. And like, again, seeing it and hearing it and having him call me. But then at one point, Grant is like, maybe we could have like on the screen, like on his phone, like the picture of like the Postal Dude with his arm around you and you wearing a sombrero and being all shit at some bar in Tijuana. I'm like, I don't look, guys, it's 3 days before
we don't have time. We don't have time.
3 days before we got to turn this in. I'm like, that would be cool, but I don't know if we could do that in time. But
what you need in your office now behind you is that picture, right? Create that picture so you have it for the future.
Now we got to do it for a shirt. We're gonna put this shirt or what's the one of the best thing you have, the body pillow freaking thing is awesome.
Yeah, body
Oh my God.
pillowcase will do it. Yeah, that'll do it. Look at that $20 super chat you just got.
Hell yeah, let's call it out, Todd. We gotta you go ahead and do it. Break her out.
$20. Hi, gents. Just joined the chat. Eric, are we gonna get a Gary Coleman sighting in Postal 2? Love him back in the day.
Oh,
we're gonna get so many millions of these questions over the next.
Well,
X amount of
and
months.
I think it's safe to
it.
say that like the idea of this product is that you are going to get the Postal 2 that was put out. Okay, like we're not taking anything out. I mean,
it's not Postal 1.5.
As a studio, we're like not sitting around milking Gary Coleman. You know, like he was in our games. We did do a tribute to him in Paradise Lost a few years back, just because it was an add-on to Postal 2, and we want to do a tribute to him. But like, we're not going to take him out. Like, he's part of that history. It is part of his lore. You know, that said, people ask all the time, like, when are you going to make a Gary Coleman doll? And I'm like, ooh, yeah, I don't really want to make a doll. But as far as I'm concerned, he has to be in the VR remake.
Agreed.
The game's going to be the game, guys. So we're not going to change the game. So if he's in the game, he's in the game. He's going to be in the VR version.
I just want to add, whenever Gary comes up, for all that he was such a high, they've always said he was the #1 TV child star in history.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy. I mean, he had medical issues. I mean, that's a fact. And obviously some personality quirks, but who hasn't been arrested? You know what I'm saying? But
he did try to kick me in the balls once.
But
that's a high kick.
He was a sweet guy. I mean, he had a damn nice side to him. And it's sad what happened and tragic. But to anybody that ever would ask, he was a hell of a lot nicer than a lot of celebrities I've met that were not even close to as famous as Gary. And Gary was just like when you were with Gary in your living room and you're just hanging, whatever, and he could be a funny guy, just something out of the blue.
We have some fucking Gary stories, man. Holy
oh man, now I need to hear
we didn't exactly hang out with him a lot. Like there was, whatever, 5-7 times. But every time it just, man,
it was just better than the previous.
Always had a good time with him. But to say that like he attracted drama is an understatement. Just like crazy shit happened around him. And it's fucking hilarious stuff. So
Gary came to my wedding.
Did he really? No way.
Yeah.
And I mean, whatever, age-wise, a little older, but he just was such a gentleman. He drove. I mean, it was here in Tucson. He drove out from LA, and with a dear friend of his, a great girl named Anna, really a sweetheart, somebody that really cared for Gary, like legitimately, honestly, sincerely cared for him. And he came to the wedding, and he was, he's such a funny. I'm just thinking of it now. His wedding gift, he gave me a book, right? And I thank you, Gary. Whatever, I get a book. I'm like, cool. And then he goes, no, open it. I'm like, well, okay, Gary, I got like 150 to people. By the way, it was here in my house, Eric. I had
really? Wow.
Tents, DJ, live music, the whole bit. Anyway, what he did is in this book he gave me, he had like every other so many pages money.
Oh, no way.
$5, $10, $20, $100. So the whole book, you'd go like this, and it was all money.
Hilarious.
I mean, and nice guy. He was big heart, little guy, big heart.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's actually how you ship cash.
Yeah, right, in books.
Put it in various pages of a magazine and you ship a magazine.
It scares me a little that you know that.
Well,
it doesn't surprise me at all.
Just for the 500-foot view, we always have had to do multiple things in life to keep this shit going. So.
Always.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Just because running with scissors, I told you, just because running with scissors seems like a big deal. We are small.
Yeah, super cool. Let's see. What is chat saying here? Virtual Stranger says, you know who else loves Milk and Gary Coleman in VR?
My mom.
Okay. Let's see. R.I.P. Coleman. Well said, Vince. Says popping fresh. And then Big Spike wants to know what's in the mug. It's just coffee. Gotta keep myself going here. Been a long day.
We do have a gray wolf sighting in chat, and I wanted to make sure to shout out to Jordy, who's in chat.
Orland Hooper's jacked, yo. That's not their thing, Todd. That's Orland Hooper.
Gray wolf. Like a boom, 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 boom.
What's up, Gray Wolf? How you doing?
Gray Wolves.
Yeah. Orland Hooper is jacked, though, Todd. Just so
he is.
Yeah. Mike's pretty jacked. Look at him.
I know, right? I saw those guns. Yeah, look at those.
Steroids do a body good, boys.
Oh, you got to have them.
Body good.
Who doesn't want steroids in VR now too? We got to figure something out.
True.
That's all I'm saying.
Guys, thank you for coming on tonight. I appreciate it. I know it's getting late for you guys, and Vince, you're sick as a dog, but it's super cool. I love chatting about it. I literally the stories that you could tell. I mean, I'd love to have you guys on again, because we just even throughout the the time here when we get you back in and talk more about, like, Vince, I've sat with you and just talked about old school gaming and the industry, going way back. I think you got a lot of cool things to talk about and tell, and that people would definitely love to hear. And you need to write a book.
Yeah.
Or two.
Yeah, right. Probably good.
Yeah,
well,
for sure.
Thank you so much for the invite. And I'm going to go make a pot of fucking tea.
Do it.
I just, I got to get better, man. This has been a drag. This is real. This time, I don't know. But anyway, thanks so much, Eric. Todd, the best to you.
You as well. Great having you on.
See you tomorrow in the office.
And I'll see you guys next week. I can't wait to hang out.
Thanks, boys. See you guys on Monday. Thanks to everybody.
Peace, guys.
See you guys.
Easy. Thanks.
Thank you.
Todd, holy crap. We've had some cool guests on the show, but like, I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one to follow.
That's tough to follow, man. Holy crap.
Yeah, I mean,
I could sit and just listen to Vince's life stories for hours. Like, you just get mesmerized by his journey on everything. Like, my God, he fucking had David Coleman at his wedding, for Christ's sakes.
I'm telling you, like, I met Mike and Vince. I told you guys I met him on a video call at Gamescom with the Team Beef guys trying to get this thing set up. And literally, since that day, we've had phone calls and meetings, and then, I got a chance to meet him in person. He was staying here in the Tampa area with a friend, and we went over and I spent the afternoon with him, and we just hung out and talked, and the stories he was able to, again, telling me stories about the industry, like in the 90s and the early, in the 80s and 90s. He's been in the industry forever, in the gaming industry. He's seen everything. And then I got a chance to go out and stay at his place, at his house when I was in Arizona filming, for the trailer. I was there for a couple of days and, had a chance to hang out with him and listen to him and MikeJ and the stories that these guys have gone through. This
crazy,
this documentary that and thankful and we're super lucky that a few of our team are going to go out after GDC. We're going to go and we're going to be there for their premiere in Arizona. So we'll be there for the live airing of the documentary. We'll be there with Vince and Mike and their team. And a few of us will be out there for that, which is going to be amazing. We get to celebrate with them. But that whole story, I mean, that's how popular, Postal was, and controversial and popular, and to the point where they can have a freaking documentary about the whole path
the
and the
journey
whole
of how crazy it was and how kind of mainstream it's become.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was super cool.
I played Postal 1. Like I remember that game before it was banned. Like
I'm not kidding. Having the freaking the voice of the Postal dude call me and say my name, I'm like, that is a freaking geek out moment. Like,
right?
I mean, to me, that's right up there with having like the Master Chief, or
Duke Nukem call you.
Yeah, or like the voice of Solid Snake, David Hayter call me. I mean, that's pretty much right up there. The Postal dude's voice. I mean, like, holy shit, man.
Yeah, Rick just called my house. What the hell?
Yeah, for sure. Super cool, man. Super cool. What do we got going on in chat here, Todd?
Oh, a lot of people just talking about their times in the 80s.
What are they talking about?
What you talking about, Willis?
I love when you talk about love when you say about.
Oh, when I say about.
Yeah.
Do I really say it that weird?
Yeah, you say it kind of weird. Chat. You heard him just say the about, right? It's super funny.
I said about. How else am I supposed to say it?
I don't know. It sounds weird. I'm telling you right now. You didn't say about. Let's go back and listen to it. You didn't say chat. Tell me
rewind it.
He didn't say about. He didn't like. He said about. You gave me the about.
Did I really? Well, you know, my Canadian, eh? Elbows up, as I say.
So we talked a lot about Postal. We had some really, a lot of other cool things. Pop and Fresh says, hell yeah, Eric, television news was all over Postal. Glad I was there. That was one of the coolest things that I really, really liked about the trailer. And I wanted to make sure that we got in was all the news stories in the beginning of the trailer that were showing like Postal, because literally it was news.
That was Postal
every
1 news.
day. Yeah. Every day there was news on Postal. And, you gotta remember, it was banned in a lot of places. Still is today banned in a lot of places. Which we're
Postal 1's banned almost everywhere. Yeah, Postal 2 is still banned in.
Hoping to change some of these things, but there was some other stuff that we went through, Todd. That was not, Postal wasn't the only thing we did. What I want to do is I want to show some trailers of some of the other cool games that we announced, and let's get into the next one whenever you're ready.
Here we go.
Welcome to the spires of Adgor, sorcerer. I see your belt holds a sorcerer's wand. When you need such things, your dark days lie ahead. And so, it begins.
Crazy.
Full circle, Todd.
Right?
Full circle. I mean, how these things work is so strange. We started with, I don't know, Dave Marsh and Shadowgate coming on the show. How long ago?
2.5 years ago or something. Yeah.
Crazy, right? Just talking about the Steam version, the Quest version,
and Dave's backstory and history in the VR, or not VR, but in the gaming industry throughout the 90s and 2000s, and another crazy guy with so many stories that could write a book.
Yeah, I mean, Dave's been, Dave Shadowgate was a game that shipped in 1985 on the freaking Apple Macintosh, right? Like, and then finally came out to PC and everything later. It's been ported to like 30 some platforms over the years, Shadowgate. So, when we had a chance to basically, publish this, the game is done, right? The game is out, the game is done. It's been out on Steam, it's been out on, Rift store, been on Quest. It's never made it to the PlayStation VR2, and for us to come on and be a part of that, to be able to help and publish and bring, Shadowgate to the PlayStation VR2 and to all those passionate PlayStation players is important to us. And it's, and yes, okay, this isn't exactly what normally Flat2VR does. Like, we're more a development team,
right?
But we're also a publisher. Like, we publish, we work with Team Beef, right? Like the Team Beef is they're not employed by us; they're our partners, right? So they are working on games in conjunction with us as publishers. So same thing here, and this was a built from ground up VR game, not based off of original code, but it was based on an IP, which is very much adjacent to what we do as Flat2VR. So it was very serendipitous. It was very, when we had the opportunity to do this, I couldn't pass it up.
And it was close to home, right? Like, Dave's a friend, and it just all the little bells and whistles all kind of lined up, and PSVR2 needs this game, and what better publishing to do it is than Flat2VR. So
yeah, 100%. I'm super excited about it. That game is gorgeous already. It's just going to look so good in the PlayStation VR2 headset with those OLED lenses.
Haptics.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be super cool. I was really excited about it. Love Dave. His story. We should probably have him back on soon, Todd,
for
too,
sure.
to
It's
kind
been
of
a
get a
while.
recap of what he, everything that he's been going. It's probably been it's got to be over a year, at least, maybe even 2 years since
I
we've had
think
him
it's 2 years. Yeah.
on. So yeah, and again, another great guest that you can just tell you stories about in the game industry for 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
Or longer. So, Shadowgate's great. I'm super excited, and yeah. So let's go to the next one. So Shadowgate, another great trailer by Wonderbar. So this is our another amazing trailer maker that works with us, Carl Wonderbar. He does pretty much most of the trailers that you've seen from Flat2VR. He does them. He also does them for our clients at Impact Reality. So we have a full trailer service now that we offer for any game out there that wants to have kick-ass trailers. We have probably some of the best content. Him and Milo, Wonderbar and Milo, probably two of the best content people in the business, making trailers for us. And let's play the next one that Carl made, and this one is a freaking kick-ass trailer. It was hard.
So good.
Damn, man.
That story behind how that trailer was made, I talked with Milo about it or Wonderbar, and it took so much effort from them to get those shots to line up and to get the timing right on all those shots so that it would fit into the trailer, to fit with the music. I just got to give those guys credit. There's so much work involved. They make it look so easy because it's just gorgeous when they're done.
Yeah, I mean, the Wonderbar. I'll tell you guys, there's a couple of shots there that Wonderbar said it took him 95 takes to get some. So everything you see there in that trailer is gameplay. So there's nothing but gameplay there, and all of those movements, all of those shots are him doing them, playing
So
the
the
game.
shot where shoots like two guys down here and then one guy up there and another guy there. If he missed the last guy, he'd go back and reshoot the whole thing again. But then he has to get to that part so that he can reshoot the whole thing again. It was crazy amount of work.
Same thing with the Postal trailer. So in that first scene with the Postal trailer, where the TV's on, and you see all the guys' bodies on the floor,
They're crawling.
they're crawling. He had to reshoot that over and over and over because in the original game where he shot that footage, that is in-game footage that he shot there. In the game, the bodies start to despawn.
Despawn, yeah.
So what happens is he actually had to go in, slow the game speed down so they would despawn slower, and then he had to still make sure he got all the shots before they started to despawn. This stuff takes forever. Editing trailers is one of the hard. You have to be creative, and then you have to understand editing and doing things over and over and over again. And some of those scenes, you'll notice in some of those scenes, there's because Roboquest has a slide mechanic, and it's the coolest mechanic, and it feels kick-ass for VR. And what he does is, you'll see it in the video, is he comes up, he's running straight ahead, and he slides forward, and you see him like kick slide forward, and then he pops up and he dual wields and shoots 2 enemies at the same time. Do you know, number one, just pulling that move off is hard as shit.
Just once is hard.
And you had to do it over and over and over again to get the perfect shot. So I don't know. It's just super cool. Mr. Chaz says I can confirm that was game footage. You can. But yeah, it's going to be an amazing game. It's fast. What's nice about it though, Todd, and I'll tell you this now, there's a few people even on our team that do get motion sick, in VR, and this game doesn't bother them. So, because that's one of the things that I've had people kind of ask me, because when they see the speed of the game in the trailer, they're like, "Oh, is that going to be actual game speed?" And that is going to be actual game speed, but I don't think people are going to have a problem with motion sickness. I play it all the time. I get zero motion sickness, so it doesn't really bother. It doesn't bother me anyway. But there are people like Jasmine's played it quite a bit, and she is susceptible to motion sickness.
That's true.
And usually, if she's going to do a game that gives her any problem, she has to either take medicine before, or she has to wear the bands and stuff. And when she plays Roboquest, she doesn't take any of that stuff, and she's fine.
I wonder if Natasha needs to, because she gets motion sickness too.
I don't know if Natasha's played it yet.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I'm
actually looking. I haven't. I don't know why I haven't tried this yet, but I need to play that on my Roto.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I haven't tried that yet.
That would be sick.
Yeah, because I could just spin around with my head.
It'll spin the shit out of you on your roto chair.
Yeah, I gotta definitely try that.
Because the game is all about it's all about movement. You can't stand still. If you stand still in RoboQuest, you are going to die because there's so many enemies on screen. So the game is all about lateral movement and then vertical movement. So you have that slide mechanic I told you about. You can slide laterally left and right. You can slide forward. You can slide backwards. And then you can jump and you can double jump. And that you have to constantly be moving. Otherwise, you're going to get shot to shit everywhere. There's so many enemies around. And there's no way you're gonna get through it. Pop Fresh says that's good news. I got motion sickness playing Horizon Call of the Mountain and Kayak VR. Still finished them though. It's good. A lot of motion sickness is knowing when to get yourself out and not overdoing it, pushing, and then just keep doing it over and over and over again. Like so. A lot of people get motion sickness when they first start with virtual reality, and it's all about training your brain to be okay with the movement and not actually having your body move. So you're seeing movement.
Disassociation. You got to train that. Yeah,
you do. I mean, some people are just not susceptible at all, and they're fine automatically. 90% of the people have to get used to it. You have to get your VR legs, and it's all about like little increments. Okay, let me play 10 minutes right now. If you start to even feel a tiny bit of nauseous or sick, stop. It's when you go too far with it and then you get yourself sick, then it'll make it worse and you'll have a tough time getting back in. But if you stop as soon as you start to feel it even a little bit, take a 15, 20-minute break or a half-hour break or whatever, get yourself feeling good again, then jump back in and do it again. And then you'll do it again. And then you do that again. If you do that a little bit, like 3 or 4 times a day, every day for like a week, literally you'll train your brain.
For the last 6 years. Then nothing gets you motion sick anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you can do it. Like most people can really just train themselves. Again, if you do it in small doses and then don't ever get to the point where some people are like, oh, I'm just going to power through it. You cannot fucking power through motion sickness. I'm telling you, you'll get sick and it'll make it worse. Drink more vodka. I will do it. That would definitely do it. Drink more vodka. Felix wants to know, is the Postal news over? What other news do you want, bro?
What other news do you want? Yeah, I think they're like expecting like specific gameplay info or
what do you
I don't know,
what do you
man.
want from me? I can go put another.
Fill up that
I can go
Discord
put
with questions.
Yeah, I can go put another Postal shirt on. I got like 4 of them. I can go put another. Would that be news?
If you're looking for a date, there isn't one. If you're looking for, I don't know what other kind of news you want. Like it's been.
I mean, maybe they wanted more like somebody else from the. Maybe they would get somebody else from the universe to come in, the Postal universe, and come and talk. Like
maybe
like Rick Hunter or something like that. That'd be cool.
Maybe
not this show. We're gonna talk a little bit more about some more VR games coming though. We are going to talk about this next one. Why don't you pop the next one?
This next one is a genre that I am all over. So
yeah, you're gonna love this game.
I love these games. So I'm super.
Launch sequence initiated. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Very cool, man. Very cool.
Just a sneak peek, as they say.
Yeah, just a teaser. It's just a teaser trailer. It's the first announcement of Surviving Mars Pioneer. Todd, by the amazing Bulwark Games, who did Genotype, who did the Dick Wild series.
The whole series of Dick Wild. Yeah, Dick Wild 2. Yep.
Yeah, and then Genotype. Genotype is one of my favorite games. Like, if you haven't
such a
played
good game.
Genotype yet, go get freaking Genotype. It's so good. It's a freaking great game.
Yeah.
It's one of the best games I played when it came out. I know me and Wes and Roots had it on our short list of possible Game of the Year candidates.
I did too.
And there was some freaking
Yeah.
sick. Yeah, and there was some sick games that came out that year.
Yeah, it was
it
2023.
didn't
I think it
win.
came out at the end of 2023.
Yeah. Yep.
November, I think. If I
Yeah,
remember.
it was such a good game. It is such a good game. But this one's different. This is going to be Surviving Mars Pioneer, based off of the Surviving Mars game from Paradox Interactive, which is freaking amazing. And like you said, like right up your alley, man. Like the survival, base building,
Gathering, exploring. Yeah, like I don't know. I'm super stoked for this. This is like, and the fact that it's coming to the Quest, you're not going to need this, powerhouse of a computer like you do with games like No Man's Sky or anything. Those other type of space builder type games. This is just going to work on your headset. I'm super stoked. I'm hoping
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be really good. And look, you can wish list it now. It is going to be coming into early access. This is not going to be the full game. It's going to come out early, because we want to get people a look at it. We want to get people trying it and testing it. And it's a big game. It's a big game. It's a survival game on Mars, where you get to build stuff. So it's gonna be early access, and then we'll look to come out in full release, later down the road. But it's gonna be great. This is gonna be a game that you're gonna kind of want to get in, sandbox it, play around, see some of the cool story, do some of the cool things, build some of these amazing bases, see what you can really do in here.
And it's not a like a VR version of the Flat game.
No, this is a kind of a built from ground up game based off of that
that genre, in that universe.
Yeah, it's based off the game Surviving Mars, and this was built from the ground up from Bulwark. So this is another one for us as Flat2VR Studios, where we're going to publish it. And again, it's like very adjacent to what we do at Flat2VR, so it kind of makes sense because it is based off a popular IP. We're bringing it into virtual reality, and then the talented Bulwark Games team is gonna is on the development. So we're gonna help them with it. We're gonna help them get it to the platform, and we're gonna help them make a great game and bring it out.
Subnautica on Mars and in VR. Sure.
Poppin' Fresh says early access, cool, big game. Eric and Todd, take my money now. Hell yeah, we'll take your money. Wish list now. Poppin' Fresh.
Hit that wish list button.
Wish list. You can go wish list on Quest and Steam right now.
Yep.
Right now. Go show your love, show your support. We talked about it earlier. Wish listing is probably one of the most important things you can do for a game, for a studio. We need to see all the numbers. We need to see, who's really up for playing this game. So
I'm gonna, before we move on, I'm gonna drop the link.
Yeah.
There you go. Click on that. Hit the wish list button. Coming soon.
Super cool. All right, Todd. We're not done yet. We have one more to show, and it's super cool. Do you have it on here actually?
Yep.
Okay.
It's unnamed, but it's there.
Okay. It's super cool. It's probably one, like, I'm excited for all of them, but this one nobody saw coming, and I'm super stoked and I'm super excited for it. Let's play.
I hope she doesn't find us here. You can be our eyes, and I'll get us out.
Dude.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to play that game. I don't like horror, scary shit. It looks so good. It looks terrifying to me. I don't know.
Dude.
I don't know, man. Virtual Stranger says unnamed code name. No, I just meant that I didn't label it on the side of my screen.
I know. I was looking at the trailers. I saw all the names. I'm like, I don't see that one here.
Yeah, I forgot to put a name on it. My bad. But it looks so good.
Tass says love Flat2VR, but I'm not giving this one a go. Why? Come on, bro.
Terrifying, dude. Terrifying.
Get in there and play.
We got to see Jasmine play this. She's got to stream it.
I watched her. So she
actually, I heard she did pretty good. Actually,
she did good. She did better than that. She didn't last very long. Trust me.
No.
She got her ass scared about 10 minutes in, but she did okay until that point. But yeah, she got her ass scared about 10 minutes in, and she just had to quit playing. But it's cool. You know, so this one's going to be unique for us. Because normally normally what we do, you know, is we take a game that's already out, that's super, you know, that's been popular, that's, either just new, like, Trombone Champ was like a year old, or Postal that's, 25 years old. So we take IPs that are already established, and then we bring them to virtual reality. We're not doing that with this one. But we are building off the code of the original game. And how are we doing that? We're doing it because it's a brand new game that's going to launch alongside our VR version coming soon. So yeah, I think there's going to be an announcement about this game this month from the original developers of the Flat game. The Gang is the original developers, published by Starbreeze, our buddies at Starbreeze. So there's going to be an announcement this month of when the launch date will be for the Flat version on Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. We are going to launch on that same day and date our PC version, our Steam PC VR version of that game out of sight. So that's going to be new for us. We normally never do that. Like we usually we're
launching with a Flat game.
Yeah, that's so cool. Like I love this idea. Like this is the stuff that we want to do, right? Like we want to do cool, interesting things, and we want to do it with Flat gaming partners, and like merge those two worlds. And these are the interesting things that we can do, Todd, to kind of like be different.
So for those of you who didn't really get the story, like you are her teddy bear who comes alive and guides her because she can't see. She's blind and she's got, a bandage thing wrapped around her head. You have to help her escape from this house that she's trapped in. And I don't think I can play it. It looks terrifying.
It's scary. It's a good game. Poppin' Fresh says, "Oh sweet God, as a massive fan of Little Nightmares 1 and 2, I'm going nuts over this game. It looks amazing." And this is very much like Little Nightmares. It's very much like Little Nightmares. But the whole idea of the teddy bear is so innovative and cool, and it works so well in VR. This is just another one of those games where you play it flat and you're like, this game should be a VR game. Like there's no reason it shouldn't be a VR game. But you're right, seeing that perspective of being able to be the eyes of the little girl and being able to guide her around this house as the teddy bear is just such a cool freaking thing.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's just the house is creepy as shit. So I don't know. I'm definitely gonna play it, but
yeah, for sure. Awesome Tim says launch date. Maybe stay tuned this month for some news. This month, I won't say when, but this month for some news on when that will be launching. And just so I'm already telling you here that we will launch with the Flat game. So day and date with the Flat game for Steam.
Yeah.
So we'll follow later with PC or with Quest and PlayStation VR2.
Yes.
Big Spikes is Among the Sleep VR would be so cool. Yeah, that would be.
Okay, like that's not to say it's only coming to Steam. It's launching first on Steam VR, but it'll come to Quest and PSVR2 eventually.
Correct. Right. But it will simultaneously launch with the Steam version. Cool. That was our showcase, Todd. That was 5 trailers of games with an update on the State of the Union for Flat2VR and by Jasmine, and then a little bit of Wrath. We announced that Wrath will be coming this fall. We finally gave a time frame for Wrath, which is great. Super excited. Yeah,
Definitely looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to some more things we can share with Wrath over the next few months, kind of deal. So,
yep, yeah,
Cool.
and like every one of these games, I'm super excited, super stoked for. It's gonna be great. Like there's just we have so much cool shit coming. Todd, that the showcase, we had a lot in the showcase, but the showcase was fucking good, man. Like if you go back and look at some of the showcases that we've seen over the years, especially the last few years, some of them are super lackluster, right? Like we're like, oh man, this is the showcase that we get.
Right.
The last two have been really good, man. Right?
Last two
Last
has
two
kind
have
of
been
been
great.
taken over by Flat2VR.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
but I mean, but we have, and we've had some good big announcements in both of them, which is great. But
There's other
Memoriam
stellar
looks,
games.
Memoriam
looks
looks cool
good.
too, right?
Really cool.
There's a couple games I'm super stoked for. Memoriam, I'm super stoked for. What was the ghost something? The ghost house or something like that? Chat, help me out. What was the game from the Room people? I just can't. I'm blanking on the name of the
I'm looking it up. I can't
the name of the game, but that looks super cool. Like I was excited when I saw that one. I was super excited. I mean, Hitman looks amazing. I'm finally hoping that IO Interactive takes care of that franchise and
Yeah, we
does
need to put
justice
that
to
game
it.
to bed. Like someone needs to make a good good version of Hitman that I'm not going to shit all over.
Oh, I think you're good. I think you got a really good chance with this one. From
I
looking
hope
at the
so.
trailer and seeing what they're going to do it. Ghost Town. Thank you, Elephant Trap. Ghost Town. Austin
Ghost Town,
Tatum. Michelle B. Thank you. That looks super cool. I'm super stoked for that. What
Memoriam
else?
looks good.
Memoriam looks great, man.
Yeah, that looks really good.
That looks great.
Forward to that
Oh,
one.
what's the game? Was it Front something from Triangle Factory?
Forefront.
Forefront. Forefront looks
yeah.
fucking awesome.
That looks
Holy
sick
crap.
too. Yeah.
32 on 32, Todd. Battlefield, basically.
Yeah, basically Battlefield with motorcycles and trucks and helicopters.
I'm
and
down.
Jesus Christ, and ATVs and tanks.
Down.
And
Do it.
it's like what was that? What was that? There was a Quest game. No, Steam VR game. That was like 64 on 64, but like half your team was bots. Like they definitely tried.
Yeah, it was War Dust.
War Dust, yeah.
Yeah, that was by the team.
This looks like a flushed out War Dust. This
Yeah.
looks like a proper version of what that should have been. Yeah.
That was by Raptor Labs.
that was like
War
3
Dust.
years
They
ago,
they
too,
they
right?
did they did
3 or 4 years.
one of the first battle royale shooters, which was called Standout on Steam VR, and then they did War Dust, which was like it was 32 on 32. And then
And it was great. War Dust
yeah, it was cool. It was
actually
cool. There wasn't enough people in it, but it was cool.
I enjoyed that they filled it up with bots though, so that you could at least go in there and still enjoy yourself without running around by yourself, like some of the other games have left us abandoned.
Yeah.
Another good one that's coming. It's an early access game that kind of took everybody's surprise. I think Reeve
looks freaking cool too. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for this one.
Yeah, I love it. It looks really good. And then Zix and Exoshock. Zix looks super cool to me. The Zix is it looks a lot like Risk of Rain to me, and plays a little bit like it too. I played Zix already. It's really really good.
This is Winlands, guys.
No, Zix is from Hidden. Is it Hidden IO?
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Yep.
Yeah, Zix looks super cool. Like if you're a fan of that type of like roguelike shooter, and it has a style that looks like it looks more like Risk of Rain than I think Risk of Rain would be, but it's very close. It is a platform shooter. It's super cool. I like Zix a lot. And then Exoshock, man, I am excited for Exoshock. It looks so good. Todd, do we got a trailer for Exoshock?
I think I do actually.
Let's take a look at Exoshock.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
I'm so hyped.
closed early access. Join the Discord to apply.
Dude, that looks so freaking good. It looks so good, man.
The reload mechanic looks awesome. The recoil looks awesome.
The recoil looks great.
Looks
Like
good.
I love the screen shake with the recoil. That's awesome. They are going to be demoing Exoshock at GDC. So the Viral team is publishing this. They're going to be showing this off at GDC. I'm stoked, man. Like I am super stoked for this game. It looks so good.
It does look really good. Really good. Yeah, I'm stoked for that one.
Big Spikes is Flat2VR is making me broke with all these amazing games. And those two last that one wasn't ours. But it's super cool. And I think everybody should go wishlist that one too.
Yeah, for sure.
Is it wishlistable? I don't even know.
Yeah,
It should
that one
be. I think it must be. But that's one that you should definitely put on your list.
Morian's wishlistable as well. It was just on their page. Go grab that one.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm
Gorn
super
2 is
stoked.
coming.
What was it?
That one. Gorn 2.
Yeah, Gorn 2. You know what? Gorn 2 looked weird to me though.
It looked very Gorny. Like it didn't. There's not a lot of difference there. I was hoping
It's how many years
or-
now from the original Gorn, and I couldn't tell the difference. Like,
New
what am I looking
stadiums,
at?
there's a new story arc, obviously. So like the campaign-ish thing that you do in Gorn is going to be different, obviously.
That was one of the ones
But-
that completely whiffed on me. Like
Kinda
I'm
lackluster.
like, this looks like fucking old Gorn. What am I looking at here? Like,
Yeah, agree.
I mean, I hope it's better. I mean, I love
I reviewed Gorn on our channel like a year after it came out, and it still had legs. Like it was super fun. So I'm hoping there's something more to it.
I was never a huge fan of Gorn or any. I wasn't a huge fan. I mean, it was okay. It was a fun experience, I guess. The physics were
It's
cool.
like one of the first ones where you could rip off arms and cut off heads, and it's old school now.
Yeah, I mean, it looks. But again, this game to me looks like Gorn. Looked like
Yeah.
I mean,
What about there's a couple more that I want to mention quick. Slender
yeah, it looks cool.
looks creepy as hell. And what's the little dog one that replaced Bogo?
Oh yeah, that does look cool.
got
The
it.
little pet. That's
Stay Forever.
a pet game. Yeah. A
Stay
virtual-
Forever Home.
virtual
Yeah.
pet game. That does look good.
That
does
looks
look
good.
Not my
Bogo
kind of.
needs a replacement, so hopefully this will fill that void.
They should have
like it.
Bogo in there.
They should. Like you should. Yeah, I agree.
Bogo
Same-
better be
same
a character
studio,
in
right?
that game. My daughter will flip out if Bogo's in that game.
Can you imagine Bogo just walked out of the wall somewhere?
Elephant Trap says maybe this version of Gorn will actually work on the PlayStation. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're coming out with version 2.
Yeah.
It is coming out on PSVR2, Steam, and Quest. Gorn 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I hope it's great. I like Devolver Digital. They're good, indie studio. They make flat games, but they also have made some VR games over the years. So nice. Popping Freshes, I just wish list out of sight. Hell yeah, thank you. We appreciate all of you, man. Everybody who wish list, I just want to say thank you very much. It means a lot to us as a studio every time somebody does it.
Ghost Town looks good. Another good one that looked pretty creepy. I think the whole showcase itself was pretty stellar. And even what was that other one? And I don't know a lot about this history on this game, but Penguin Festival. People were freaking out about this, and
Miles Dyer was so excited about Penguin Festival so he can beat the shit out of penguins in another VR game.
Oh, is that why? I couldn't figure out why everybody was so excited. I was like, it's penguins. I don't get it.
Well, it's a big thing. It's like a running joke on PSVR Without Parole because Miles.
Maybe that's where
he killed the penguin basically in Kayak VR. He hit it with the paddle.
Oh, right.
He even has like a coffee mug that he has on his channel.
That's right.
With like a penguin hitting him over the head or something.
I do recall that now. Maybe that was it.
Oh yeah, Baggy says new levels for Vendetta Forever. That was always that. That's
yeah.
good. I like Vendetta Forever. That's a cool game.
Yeah, so
It's
I don't
cool.
know. That
Good
whole
showcase, man.
showcase was great, I think. Yeah.
I mean, the showstopper was Flat2VR stuff.
Underdogs coming to PSVR 2.
Underdog, that was another good one. Underdogs is super cool.
Breachers has got some new content coming out. Prison Boss Prohibition's got some mixed reality co-op thing update that's coming.
Yeah, I'm down.
A lot of cool shit.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. It was good. It was a really good showcase. That's all I can. That's all I'll say. It was a really good showcase. in a time where the VR world needs some good news, it was a good showcase. Like we're the developers are still here. We're still making good games. I know that everybody's looking at the gaming industry as a whole and be like, what's going on with the gaming industry? Everything's a little weird right now. And then when you have VR inside the gaming industry, being in that microcosm, we feel the effects maybe a little bit stronger because we're a smaller unit of but yeah, I mean, so for us, having that kind of good news and seeing all that is pretty good. It's pretty good. Cool, man. This was a great show, Todd. It was good to get back in. I think we showed off a lot of cool stuff. We talked to Team Beef, which is kick ass. Thank you, Grant, and thank you, Baggy, and
Yeah, those guys were great.
Mark for coming back on and doing that. And shit, man, having Vince and Mike on was awesome.
Seriously, we could do this on a Saturday morning and just talk for hours about the history of Vince.
Definitely, seriously, and we
Right?
could. Some of the stories he's told me, like, just
It would be so much
it's
fun. Yeah.
insane. I love it. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that again. The guys are awesome. Like they were like, well, come on, whatever you want. Like we'll do it. They're just kick ass people, and that's why for us at Flat2VR Studios, it's about the great games. But man, having a great team and people behind those games is super important to us. We want good partners, in this, and that's what they are. They're good partners. So.
Yeah.
Guys, we just want to say we appreciate you. If you could hit the thumbs up on the video here right now, that would be really appreciated. Hit us up with some comments in the chat if you have questions for questions about Flat2VR stuff. Have any questions about Q2C? Questions about Todd and his weird beard and getting all furry and looking weird? Put those in there.
I got to keep it warm.
Yeah, right. But yeah, put some questions and comments on the video afterwards, and again, go wish list and click all the things and subscribe to the channel and do all the cool shit. And we appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys. This was great.
Hell yeah. Bye, everybody.
Good night.